Wonderful people, this is your host Sham. This is 0xfiles. The truth is always out there. I may have changed the channel name recently. I've put the truth is always out there in the description, so I wanted everyone to know this is 0xfiles, right? We are community orientated, and yeah, of course I'm here for the community. So even if one person asks me to go live, I'll do it. You know, if I've got the time, why not, right? And this is a community bash. We are going to talk about crypto, the general crypto markets, what I see right now in the markets, and yeah, anything else that you guys want to talk about. It doesn't matter what it is. No subject is off limits. Obviously, if it's a bad subject, we don't want to talk about it, and I'll tell you straight away, right? I'm not going to talk about it, but usually 99.9% of anything, we will definitely talk about it. So if you are here on the live stream, please do let me know. I would appreciate that. And also, if you are here, you have the link, please share the link to the Discord community, whatever communities you have. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe if you're here for the first time. This is a whole different experience, right? So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Remember, guys, I don't do pre-recorded stuff. And this is one of the evidence of that. I don't do, oh my days, El Bubble, my brother. Oh my God, man. Lots of love, my brother. So long since I've last seen you. Freaking hell, bro. Where you been? Bubble, my brother. I gotta do this. Thank you for coming to the show. Nice, 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 my brother. It's been a long time since I last saw you, Bubble. Appreciate that. I love the fact that you're here, finally. I'm sure you're busy with work and life and everything. I know you have a hectic life as well, just like myself. So yeah, fantastic to see you. But if you are here, please do share, as I said, to the communities. Share with one another. Let's grow this community. We have a target to get to at least 5,000. I would love to see 5,000 people subscribed, and obviously would love to see more views as well. The more views, the better. And the channel is getting a lot of view right now, so I want to give you a little bit of a lowdown. Channel is getting a lot more views than it used to, but it's usual traditions, right? It happens during the bull market, and especially during the bull run. A lot of people are looking for stuff like, you know, they're lost like myself. Sometimes I get lost in the charts. Sometimes I get lost with the numbers. So of course, that's what I'm here for, to guide you guys and help one person at least every single day, at least find some sort of a clarity, right? Whether it's too much or not, I don't know. I can't live comment on your videos. If it's not live, I'm blocked by YouTube. What? Why? How? That's weird, Bubble. That's weird. I didn't block you, bro. So I'm not sure what's going on. I can't live comment on your videos if it's not live. I'm blocked by YouTube. That's weird, bro. I'll go and check in the settings, because I do have some filters. If those filters like if there's a keyword or something, sometimes it does. So I've put some keywords, and I'll be honest with you, transparent with you. I've put keywords like Telegram, you know, promo SM, and all of those scammers. You know, there's so many scammers there. So I've put a filter to block all of those people, because I can't be bothered to see their message all the time, and they kind of affect the channels as well. I mean, I'll have a look at it and see, brother. And hopefully, if you are blocked from my end for whatever reason, I'll unblock you. Yeah, so don't worry about that. I'm on it, right? After this video, I'll definitely get on it, Bubble, because of course you're one of my best viewers. You've been around for a very long time. And I was surprised I didn't see you. You know, I used to always see your comment. You were like the first person who always comments on my videos, right? So I was surprised. So, you know, if there is a mistake from my end, I will definitely fix it, bro. Definitely, definitely, definitely. And I know you always watch me. Awesome, my brother. I love you. Maxim's here. Awesome. All good. Thank you very much, Maxim. Appreciate that. Maxim, please do share the link to the communities, as I said earlier on as well. So yeah, please do share. So without any further ado, let me get into the video, and let's do the market first, and then we'll talk about anything. So while I'm at it, go ahead and type and let me know what you would like me to talk about today, right? I'll talk about anything, as I said, anything. Let me know what you want to talk about, and we'll go for it. Awesome, Maxim. Thank you, brother. I really, really do appreciate that. I want to give you this. Where are you? There you go, Maxim. This one's just for you, my brother. Thank you very, very much. Right? So I love this app. It's brilliant, right? So it's awesome. And guys, if you're here for the first time, if you're new, please do consider at least subscribing, hit that like button, and let's grow this community, as I said, right? Also, I made a comment earlier on today about I'm planning to create a foundation, because you know what, when seasonal things happen, it doesn't matter what it is, right? A lot of people from the community come up to me and they're like, oh, we got this and we got that, and you know, can you donate to this charity, can you donate to that charity? And I love donating, I love spreading the love, right? But sometimes I also feel that maybe, you know what, I should create something of my own, and it will be a lot better, and of course share it with the community, because I know sometimes it's difficult because the communities are quite specific to what they want to donate to, and I respect that. You know, I never ever disrespect anybody. So yeah, I mean, whatever much, whatever little, doesn't matter, I'll give it, but I know it's not kind of favorable to the community. So that's why I thought, you know what, I'm going to look at creating my own foundation or some sort of a charity, and then hopefully people can actually donate to that, and that way I can spread the love to anybody, and that way it doesn't choose anybody and it's not biased or anything. Like, people don't have to donate to a specific cause, they just donate to the foundation, and the foundation then goes around and spreads it out. And also I said, if we hit 10,000 subscribers and of course, you know, thousands of views, what I'm planning to do is also every pound or dollar that is given in charity, I'll also match that. So, you know, if we get $10,000 donated, I'm going to match that. It's going to be $20,000. So it doesn't matter what it is, right, guys? You know, I'm feeling charitable. Why not, right? So I'm going to do that. So, but I'm going to do it through my own foundation, so that way it's a lot better and it's manageable as well, and I know where the money's going, so that's going to be nice. I'll see someone on Twitch as usual. Awesome. Thank you very much for coming over. I don't know how you guys send messages from Twitch. If you are watching it, please do go ahead, send a message, and then we'll go from there. So, not plugging anything here. I do have, now by popular demand, I also want to add one thing as well. I do have a buy me a coffee link below, because some people have asked me, it's like, bro, your videos are not monetized. No, they're not. I do not monetize my videos. Bro, we wanted to give you a super chat on live and this and that. I've had all of those conversations, right? I said, look, it doesn't matter what it is. Channel's not going to be monetized yet, right? Maybe in the future I will monetize it when it's big enough. Why not? I don't see a reason. But right now, I'm not interested in making small change from YouTube or anybody in the community. So if you do see ads and this and that, guys, believe me, it's not me. I have not enabled any ads. My channel is completely switched off from the, monetization. So let's see. And as I said, in the future, maybe I might stick one on, but right now I'm not thinking about it. Maxim says, what's up with Casper, right? We're going to talk about Casper, and we're going to talk about El Bobby says, I invest in ACH, Sui, 1inch, Jito, Celestia, and much more. You invest in you're a beast, my brother. You're a beast. You're a beast. I remember, Bubble. Do you know what I'm praying for, right? And I'm praying for you, my brother. I'm praying for you. I want to see eGold, right? And I'm hoping you still hold your bags, right? I'm hoping eGold gets to the $300-400 this time, and if it does, Bubble, my suggestion to you is at least cash 50% out of that. You thank me later. Cash 50% of that, because bro, you're a freaking awesome hodler. All right, respect that, right? So we're going to talk about memes as well. So let's talk about Casper. But before I get to Casper, I'm going to drop you some market knowledge right now, exactly what's going on, also the time and date, so people are aware of what day we're talking and what kind of a reference. Of course, the video will be published and the date of the publishing will be there, but I think a lot of the time people miss the fact that there's a specific time when we came on live, right? So right now the video is the time now is 11:49 p.m. UTC. So just to make it easy for everybody, at least that way they can search it, UTC, 11:49 p.m. UTC in United Kingdom. And the date today is the 22nd of March, 2024. And I know there's a whole bunch of conspiracy theories going out there because of how the date is in USA. They're saying, oh, it's 3/22, which is March 22, and to do with the what do you call this, the Skull and Bones order, right? They're talking about all these Illuminati stuff, right? But anyway, we're not going to get into there to do with Kate Middleton and whatnot. So there's a lot of conspiracies going out there, but I'm not getting in there. I just, my prayers and thoughts for Kate Middleton. If she's got cancer and she's getting chemotherapy, it's our princess, end of the day. And, us being sovereign citizens, we should look out for this kind of stuff. So that's what I see, end of the day. And I hope she gets well, right? I hope the therapy is well. It's a surprise to everybody that she's got cancer all of a sudden, right? But it is of course, I don't blame the conspiracy theorists who came up with it and they said, right, hold on, why announce it on that particular date? That's true. Why would you announce it on that particular date, 3/22? But then in UK, we say 22/3. So it's a whole different story, right? It changes the narrative. So we're not going to go down that route too much, right? So the market right now, the total market cap is sitting at $2.34 trillion, right? I don't see much of an issue with that. Absolutely fine. We did go lower and we've managed to recover and hold. So I'm going to show you a chart as well. Flip the camera and I'll show you the chart as well. So that way it will probably make sense. And can I do that? I don't think I can do that. I'm not sure what, let me see. Is there an option? Hold on. No, there isn't an option. So sorry guys, I won't be able to flip and show you the thing on this particular app right now. Anyway, the market's sitting at $2.34 trillion. Not bad. I'm not complaining. BTC is sitting at 63,442, and I do want to talk about BTC because that is the key. It's the most dominant coin right now, so of course we need to talk about that. I see RA here. Awesome. Salam, my brother. Nice to see you here as well. I hope I'm not disturbing you. I know you guys are fasting. I know a lot of the stuff. I do fast every now and then, but not all the time. But you know, it's just me being me. Ethereum sitting at 3,318. Awesome. Solana pumping at $173. Again, I'm not complaining. I see the market kind of showing signs of recovery, and that's all to do with BTC, right? And before I get into that, let me drop the Caspar while I still remember. Right, so Caspar, I want to talk about Caspar. Let's talk about Caspar. So Caspar, funnily, performs very, very well. Hold on, USDT. Right. Let's see. Right, so we got MEXC. Right, CAS always performs very well when BTC is down. Right, I don't know why. Don't ask me. That's something I do not have an answer to. Right, CAS does perform very well. In fact, on the 4-hourly chart that I have in front of me right now, CAS was ranging down, and then since, and let me give you a time and a date. So since, where is it? So since the 19th of March, so it was trending down, but since the 19th of March, coincidentally, that's pretty much around when BTC started dumping, CAS started performing very well. So CAS did go as low as 11 cents and it picked itself up and currently sitting at 14.5 cents, right? So that's very good return, by the way. That's a good, like, I would say almost about 25-30%, not bad. And it's trending upwards as well. Also, the signals that I'm getting on my chart, and I have activated a whole bunch of indicators. Those of you who want to see my chart or you want to link to my chart, I'll happily share it on Discord. Also, after this live stream is finished, I'll post it in the description as well, so that way you guys could go and follow through as well and see what charts I'm looking at, right? What kind of indicators I'm using actually. And again, indicators, you won't see all my indicators because I have 22 indicators on my chart right now, but I think about 10 or 11 of them are activated to give me a bit more accurate data. That's all it is, guys. That's the only reason I do this. And let me just check this out. I can flip the camera. Freaking hell, I can flip the camera. So let me flip the camera. Right, give me a second. So this is what I'm seeing for CAS, and this is what I'm talking about. This area here, right? So this is CAS. And you see this pattern here? And this is what I'm talking about. My 22 indicators is right here. So this is Caspar showing a good sign. How it's pumped a little bit, and of course this is my indicator. It's giving me an indicator to actually go long, but not, you know, on a short time frame. It's telling me within that time frame that it might be a good idea. But let me flip the camera again. Right, let's go back to this. Right, so it is giving me a good sign to say that Caspar wants to move up. Now, of course, Caspar, one other thing as well we have to understand, it's not only that it performs very well when BTC dumps, Caspar also performs in the trends, right? So when there's a trend or a narrative moving up, CAS will perform, right? The only thing, and I've mentioned this many times, the only thing that lets down Caspar is the mining reward, because it does give so much away. It does do that. My advice to anybody holding Caspar, if you bought it very cheap and you're moving up and you doubled your money or you tripled your money, my advice is take some investment out. If you take the initial investment out, whether you take your profit or not, it doesn't matter. Then at least you know that your initial safe. Another thing is as we are trending, right? If we're trending, and right now we are trending, right? If it's trending, then you don't have to necessarily sell or take your initial investments out. What you do is you just set up a higher stop loss. So I talk about stop losses or a buy order, whatever you want to call it, like a stop limit order, right? And the idea is you close that gap. So just in case the market dumps by 10-15%, and that happens a lot, right, in most of the cryptocurrencies, if it does, then at least you know that you've got your USDT back. Now you can go and buy it all over again, provided that we're still in the game. And right now we are still in the game, right? Also, by the way, guys, please let me know if the audio quality is any good, right? I'm not sure if the audio is good or not. So please do let me know this, right? So that's what I see for Casper. Now, obviously, my brother Bubble has been a beast. He's a freaking beast, right? People don't know he is the Bubble, right? Anyway, the Bubble. So he's obviously, I see he's got ACH. ACH, I'm not. I can't remember the coin. ACH, Alchemy. Oh shit, it's Alchemy. Yes, it's Alchemy. Alchemy, I haven't looked at this season, actually, funnily. Bubble says audio is perfect. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that. Alchemy, I haven't looked at recently, to be honest. 1 inch, I gave up. To be honest, 1 inch, I gave up, right? Jitto is a new narrative. I don't see a reason why it won't pump, right? Jitto will definitely pump a little bit. Celestia, now that's a whole different beast, right? I've been telling everybody to buy Celestia from like when it was $3-4 and shit like that, right? Maybe $5, I can't remember, but I've been telling people to buy Celestia and just hodl, right? Just don't worry about it, just buy, forget. That's what I said about Celestia. There's many coins I've talked about, many things, and I've said like, oh, do this and do that. But with Celestia, I said just buy, just pick your bags and just leave it. Don't worry about it. At the end of the bull market, do whatever. So it's not, I haven't even said stop loss on that. Can you believe that? There was another coin has been pumping as well, Aptos. I remember way back in the days when Aptos came out, first time when Aptos came out, and we waited for the dump, and some people asked me, what do you think about Aptos? I said, just buy your bags and just leave it, right? I can't remember who I said it to or where I said it. Honestly, I talk to so many people every day. I can't remember, but I did say, just buy it and just leave your bag. Doesn't matter, put $1,000 in or whatever and just leave it, right? So that's what happened, and I'm sure those people are going to be thanking me. We didn't talk about stop losses or anything. So there's a time when I talk about stop losses, and there was a time I don't talk about stop losses, right? All of those guys are in profit. And I remember at that time, I think Aptos was around $1.90 or $2, something stupid like that. But they've done really, really well. Oh, sorry, I'm just going through the chat because obviously there's so many coming in. Carry on, guys. You drop whatever comments you want. As I said, I'll talk about just about anything. But also, I'm going to answer the questions one by one, right? So Maxim says, Soul Cast Ethereum, how memes are trashing crypto, how memes are trashing crypto community by decreasing liquidity. No, actually, no, they're not decreasing liquidity. No, okay, let's put it this way. Liquidity is okay, let's talk about liquidity. Liquidity is great, right? The only way you can have more liquidity or less liquidity is if USDT or USDC or USDC go away from the market. Now, I know a lot of people might think, what the hell is he talking about? Let's talk about this, right? So, in order for any liquidity, right, you need to have two sides to it. Two sides. The pool cannot have one-sided liquidity. You have to have two sides to it, right? Of course, there are mechanisms. In fact, I have a particular cryptocurrency which has a one-sided liquidity, right? And what that means is pre-programmed. So I have a smart contract on the Matic network, and I have never promoted to anybody, but I'm telling you now, the project is called Crazy Kitties, and I think current valuation is about 800 mil, but I haven't made anything, so it's not like I'm making money out of it. But let's put it this way. So the way it works is pre-designed on a smart contract to provide liquidity one-sided. And the way that smart contract was done is when you go to purchase this on day one or whatever funds you pay with, whether it's USDT, whether it's Matic or anything on the Matic Polygon network, it would accept that as the other side of the liquidity. And as time progresses, it keeps on building the liquidity. So there's always going to be sufficient liquidity for someone to buy or sell. So for example, if one person goes and buys $1,000, then there's $1,000 worth of liquidity now on the other side. And if he decides to sell for $1,000, then he can sell the $1,000. It will not harm the project. So it's like an experimental thing I did. and it works, right? I can use that same smart contract on any platform or like any EVM chain, let's just say this, right? Because it is an ERC20 standard. So that was an experiment I did, and it works, right? And it's freaking awesome, right? Seeing that work. But of course, am I going to use that in my own project? Maybe, maybe not. Talking of which, I mean, look, Casper's pumping now, currently sitting at 14 cents and 14.6 cents, right? So yes, Casper's doing its thing, right? So, and it's looking bullish, guys, by the way, guys. This is one of the things. There are some indicators that I use which will literally tell me buy or literally tell me long, right? So that means go long now. So on a 4-hourly chart, it is showing long. It's been showing long for some time now, for the last almost 4 hours. And currently it is pumping. So you know what I mean? This is how it works, right? So liquidity is one of those kind of things you have to understand, that unless people have, say for example, they launch a shitcoin and then someone pays with Ethereum, Solana, or whatever, unless they cash out that Solana, right, you can't really take away liquidity. And funnily, through these meme coins, more liquidity is actually entering the market than actually leaving. Now, there is one thing that you could say. What's happening is more and more people are becoming bag holders, right? And, you know, buying all of these. And that's kind of causing a bit of issue because liquidity is getting locked, right? But liquidity is not vanishing. You can't have more Solana than available. Does that make sense, right? And you can't take away Solana and go and now, you know, have it in your bank account. In order for that, you have to sell your Solana and go into USDT or your national currency, and that's it. But the Solana never vanishes, it's still there. So that's one of the things. Valuation can change, but or it can be locked away, which is not a bad thing. But you can't really take that liquidity away unless you make that stable currency completely vanish. Does that make sense, right? So that's what I'm going to say, right? So pretty simple. So yeah, that's that. Liquidity. Yeah. So meme coins, in my sense, look, there are narratives, right? There are meme coins that would destroy the industry, right? Because what will happen is people will buy with whatever currency, and then when they see that it's time for them to exit or they become millionaires, they might dump those tokens, the meme tokens, and then jump into something, and that could have a massive impact on the narrative or the momentum of the market, right? It will create some negative energy. That's all it is. So other than that, I wouldn't really say anything else. Meme coins are, you know, it's part of the thing. We accept it. Doesn't matter. Right? I would love to make a couple of meme coins, right? Why not? If the community wants to come together and make a meme coin, let's do a freaking meme coin. I'll create one for you tomorrow. That's not an issue. I don't have an issue with that. So that's that. I've read RA. He said salam. Salam back to you, my brother. Maxim says thank you. Okay, great. I notice a pattern that is pumping every 60 to 90 days. There are patterns like this, and that's a good thing. If you are noticing patterns that are repeating, right, then you've identified that, then now that means you are able to also identify when to buy and when to sell, right? And you should do it. As a trader, as a person who wants to make money, you shouldn't be holding for the whole term. If you can see a pattern that says, actually, I can sell here and I can buy here, and rinse and repeat, and actually make a decent amount of money or even a living out of it, why not? Because traders, the general term for traders do it as a job. That's how they pay their bills, right? They don't just hodl. Unfortunately, in the crypto community, we have too many hodlers, and the hodlers are usually the bag holders. We don't want to be bag holders. We want to be profit makers, right? So that's what we want to do. So yeah, let's see what happens. So I'm going to read through all of this. So let's see. Wow, okay, so many. 90 days, pattern, right? Great audio. Maxim said great audio. Audio is perfect. Bubble says yes. I believe he's talking about alchemy when I said ACH. I think he said yes for that. For stop loss, do you need to keep all coins on the exchange, right? Mentioned I can't register on Coinbase or Binance because of my location. Now, if you can't register on Coinbase or Binance, I'm sure there are other exchanges that you can. For example, Bybit is not in the UK. They also have stop loss, right? But it's not just about being on an exchange with a stop loss. It's also being on an exchange that accepts that coin. So whatever coin you're picking up, does the exchange accept that? Now, I'm going to give you a little trick, right? That will help you. Go to CoinMarketCap, put the coin's name, whatever the name is, the ticker, right? For Casper is CAS. or the full name, doesn't matter, in the search bar. When that coin pops up, get in there and then go to the tab where it says markets. And that will tell you exactly how many exchanges it is trading on. And all you have to do is go through that exchange and then until you find one that you can actually use for your trading needs, right? That's what I'm going to say. So there are not, it's not like all exchanges are banned in your location or in your state. There are plenty of locations where like exchanges which will allow you to do that. You just got to find that one. And as I said, it's not specifically the exchange, it's more to do with the coin as well. So does that exchange accept that coin? If not, then maybe you might have to just play it on whatever exchange you can and then move on. Like there's plenty of like shit coins, I'll call it, that pump and dump, but I can't pick them up on all the exchanges. In fact, there's a lot of them that I've recently been playing around with and I haven't mentioned any one of them. They're not even available on exchange. They're just Uniswap or like, you know, some Solana ones that obviously not on exchanges. So you look at those, there are no other ways but doing it in a decentralized way. So, you know, that's what I do, right? So if you can talk about Cubic, I don't know. Sorry, my brother Maxim, I'm not sure about what Cubic is. I can't tell you, so no idea. Cubic, I have no idea, so I'm not going to talk about that. Even VPN doesn't let me do that for some reason. Okay, VPN, right? Okay, Bubble, you gotta. There are some VPNs. There are some very good VPNs. I'll tell you, right? I've used VPNs which say, you know, they charge me and they say, oh yeah, we're going to allow you to do whatever. They don't. Somehow the exchanges have some sort of a geo block which doesn't allow it. But there are some great VPNs out there, even some free ones, like some decentralized free ones that do allow it. Because remember, a VPN, you're literally going through somebody else's computer. And ultimately, the other person's computer that you're going through, he makes the decision. So if you have a VPN company that is based in USA, still in USA, you know what I mean? So find a VPN company that is not based in USA, in a complete different locality. I would say go for the Swiss ones, they're quite good. Or the ones in Norway, they're quite good. And then bypass it through that. But what you'll still find is when it comes to the verification, you still have to give your ID and they'll know exactly who you are. So there is no winning, literally, right? But persistence will pay. And as I said, identify the exchanges that allow you to do this. That's the way forward, basically. So that's all I'm going to say. Maxim says, speaking about liquidity, people, holders start to sell alts to buy Sol for pre-order. Pre-order. I don't know what you're talking about. People started to sell alts to buy Sol for pre-order. Why not, right? I mean, look, if you're in a market and there's a particular coin that you're looking at, right? There's a particular coin you're looking at, and it has a pair. The pair is, say, Solana to whatever shitcoin, or BNB to whatever shitcoin. Then that's the pair. So of course, you don't have much options. If there's no other liquidity available, no other pairs available, you sell to that pair. You know, it doesn't have to be for a pre-order or whatever you're talking about. Ultimately, they just want to make money. If they've made profits, that's all they're going to cash out. You know, like me, when I do Solana meme coins, I literally go back to Solana, right? And I've seen some coins out there which have 10, 15 different coins that I can swap to because other people have provided liquidity via those coins, but I still choose Solana because that's what I want to be. Do you know what I mean? However, and also this is the fun part, right? Sometimes what happens is these liquidities, how they happen, and let's explain this as well. On a Solana ecosystem, for example, I've seen coins that only trade with Solana, but I've gone to Radium or I've gone to Jupiter and I decided to buy with USDC. There was a massive reason behind this. So instead of me putting half a Solana or one Solana to buy something, I decided to put $50 to $100 of USDT. Now I did that for a reason, because if the coin pumps and dumps, it pumps and dumps and it shows me a dollar value. Now that's hard for me to calculate because if Solana is also pumping, what do I make? Nothing, right? So I looked at it that way. I was like, okay, if I do this with $1 and if it goes from $50 to $100, and I'm giving you a hypothetical number, $50 to $100, I've doubled my money, great. But if Solana also pumps at that time and goes from, say, currently $170 something, right? Let's go into this and let's have a look. currently $174, almost $175, and goes to $300, I don't get less Solana. I still have more money. So yes, I will be able to buy less Solana, but at least I know I'm not getting less Solana. Does that make sense, right? Because when Solana pumps, then I'm getting less back, and that doesn't make any sense for me. So that is something I also look at, because sometimes you've got to look at the fiat value of something, not just the asset value. You know what I mean? Because if you put one Solana in, doesn't mean you get one Solana back, even if this thing doubles and triples in value, because Solana could also pump 3 times more. Now you might get 1/3 of what you put in. So last thing I want is put 1 Solana in, receive 0.3 Solana. Do you know what I mean? I don't want that. So it's also about thoughts as well. And that's why I say it's about perspective, right? You know, sometimes when you enter the market, what do you want to achieve? What do you want to receive at the end of it, right? How much more do you want to receive? That's more important than anything else. So that's what I'm going to say. So let's read these comments. So Bubble, yep. Okay, Bubble's advising G. I won't say anything there. Maxim says exactly what I meant about trashing the system. Stupid meme, especially Pepe. It's a frog, and very ugly one, by the way. Listen, the uglier they are, the better they are, right? But that's not the point. The point is there's a community out there, 4chan community, Reddit community, you know, who have made this famous, and it already had a massive following, a massive backing. So it was a narrative. Whoever launched it knew that there's enough momentum, enough familiarity, right, that they can actually launch it and make it success, and it did succeed. That's all it is. It doesn't have to have anything. It doesn't have to be real, right? It's a narrative and people like it, so why not, right? So Maxim says, thank you for your explanation. I hope the explanation worked. If there's anything else you want me to talk about, drop it, not an issue. So market looking okay, and I wanted to talk about BTC, right? Earlier on, I wanted to talk about BTC. So similar way that I look at my charts, I have these like crazy things that work for me. I don't know why, but they just work for me, right? And I'm going to zoom into this to kind of show you what I see, so that way it will make total sense to you, right? So I've on my 4-hourly chart, and I'm going to go and flip this camera. Right, on this, so here you can see, right, this blue line here, which has, I don't know if it shows the price, it's 62,447. So this blue line was drawn some time back, and this is the line exactly where we found support again. We lost support here the other day, and we actually went to 60,794. But yeah, we found support on this line again, and we started pumping. But see this red area here? This is actually what's known as a Gaussian channel, right? So I have Gaussian channel here. And unfortunately, we are below the Gaussian channel. So what we need to do, and this is on a 4-hourly, by the way, guys, because on the daily, we are still above the Gaussian, so we're still bullish. So all the daily signals are giving me bullish. But this particular Gaussian channel, we need to get above that. Right, and ideally we want to get above this middle line here, this middle area here, right? This is very important. We need to get above this. So currently, obviously, before I put the price there, which is $69,000, and I mentioned to everybody the other day, I said we need to get above $69,000. Unfortunately, we didn't. So the line is still there, but currently, funnily, we don't even need to get to $69,000. We just need to get to approximately 67,600 approximation, right? So if we get to that level, we should, I'm going to flip the camera again. So if we get to the 67,000, we should be fine. So that would be our confirmation. So we are bearish right now. According to this 4-hourly chart, it is showing bearish signs. But if we can reach that middle line and break past it, which currently is lower than it was a few days ago, which is 67,600, that changes the narrative and the momentum. So we don't have to have something crazy in the market. All we need is a simple 4-hourly, 1-hourly, like this is a 4-hourly chart. If we get one 4-hourly candle at the $67,000 level, 67,600 actually, and then print it above, that changes the entire trend. So it's all about trend, how to navigate and identify where the trend is. Because that's what I mentioned the other day. I said, guys, if we don't go to the, I'll tell you, if we don't go to 69K, it will be dangerous. And I mentioned this on the last video. I said, look guys, let's be, you know, it's all great, yeah, market's pumping and this and that, but if we don't go above 69k, any price above 69k, we're screwed. We didn't go there, we got rejected below that. Does that make sense? So this is how the market kind of works, how the trends and the patterns work, right? So that's what it is. So yeah, but today we have 67,600 on the chart, roughly, right? If we can go above that, then we start creating a positive trend, because we need to be above the middle line on the Gaussian channel. Remember this Gaussian channel. I know many people, many experts around the world who come say, oh, use it on 1 day, use it on 2 days, use it on 3 days, use it on 2 weeks, whatever. Listen, people are just trying to connect the dots. Use it wherever you like. It doesn't matter. It's a trend pattern. It shows you when we're bullish and we're bearish. It doesn't matter if you use it on an hourly, if you use it on a 4 hourly, on an 8 hourly, on a 12 hours, whatever you decide. It's a freaking trading indicator that shows you if the market is bullish or bearish, right? What the momentum and what the sentiment is in the market. And right now it's telling me that's what the sentiment is. Antonio Chapa, cheers from Mexico, my friend. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Nice to see you. Hola, amigos. I do say adios, amigos at the end, but first time I'm actually meeting somebody from Mexico, I have to say hola. Thank you. Nice to see you here. So, yeah, so that's the pattern. And, you know, I don't care what the experts say, as I said, right? It's an indicator. And as long as this indicator works on multiple time frames, then it's valid on multiple time frames. And that's what I'm using right now. Of course, I have other indicators overlaid as well, which also give me a sign. So that's what I'm looking at. And that's one of the reasons why I think BTC, as I said many times, and I've said it to you guys already on a couple of videos now, I've said, guys, I believe that whatever dump we should have had has already happened, right? As far as I'm concerned, the dump has already happened and we should be starting a recovery upwards. Of course, the dump from the top, the 73,000, whatever, close to 74,000, coming down to 60,800, let's just say 800. That was a good 18-19%, something like that. That's good. I don't see a problem with that, right? We expect to dump after a pump, hence why we had stop losses and everything. And I was banging on about the stop losses. So I know a lot of guys got stopped out. Many people have called me up and said, dude, how the hell did you guess that? It's not a guess, guys. It's just how the patterns work, right? Whenever we go into a parabola, we need to understand. And of course, this time, by the way, guys, we didn't even go to a parabola. Here's the fun part. BTC at 73,000 something, almost $74,000 wasn't even the parabola. In fact, the 74,000 and beyond is the parabola zone. How crazy is that? The 74,000 and above is a parabola zone, but whoever, the whales or the manipulators or whatever you want to say, they didn't allow it to go into a parabola. They actually took control before it went to a parabola, and coincidentally, MicroStrategy buys more. Right? You know, BlackRock buys more. Wow, what a coincidence, right? That's all I have to say. What a coincidence, right? So yeah, they're getting there. They're getting there. They're not buying for no good reason, guys. They're not stupid. They're not buying for no good reason. So they are buying anyway. So that's that. So Maxim says, how did you make the screen on your car show charts? My screen is an Android Auto, not an Android Auto, sorry. It's an Android device. I don't know if you remember, I mentioned, I actually bought my car because of this screen. So I bought the screen before I bought the car, right? It's freaky, but that's what I did, right? This is a actual Android tablet type of a device. So technically it is a tablet, but it's connected to all my car systems. So I have made many videos. It's called Deciter PX6, Deciter PX6. I have some videos, me showing playing games, Android games and whatnot, right? And those videos did get a whole bunch of views. But I got it to watch my charts, my trading view. So it's the same as my phone, for example, or my laptop, whatever. So any apps I can have on my Android device, I can also have here as well, download it, and yeah, play through. And obviously because I have a same trading view logged in, it's synced. So whatever I do on my phone or my laptop or my computer syncs all over my devices. So whatever I'm doing over there also shows up here. And funnily, as I said, I will happily share the link to my chart, because if I save the chart on BTC, for example, you will also see the same BTC chart, right? Say for example, I decided to make some changes and I'm navigating the market and I decide to save the chart on Solana or even Casper, for example. Guess what? Your link will show up Casper as well, because it's the same link. Because I don't use, look, I have hundreds of chart on TradingView, but I prefer to stick to the one that I've configured myself, and that's the one I've configured, and that's the one I do. So he says, good for you, lol. I should have thought about screen too. Listen, for me, there's a massive reason for the screen, guys. I don't know how many people, like many people who own cars, they kit up their cars in multiple ways, sound systems and XYZ. Great, they're music lovers, they love music. I like a bit of music every now and then, probably when I'm on a long journey, long drive. Mostly I like podcast. But the fun fact is, and this is, you probably realize this as well, how many of you guys actually look at your screen when you're listening to music? I could be listening to music right now. In fact, I could literally, and I'm not even joking, I'm going to play something just for the sake of it. I'm going to play something just to kind of have a bit of fun, right? And why not, right? I'll just show you this. This is how crazy it is, right? So right now, I've got like, you're going to love this one. You're going to love this one. You're going to love this one, right? Dismiss. All right. Well, dismiss. I'm going to turn the volume down because last thing I want is something crazy to happen. But let's do some music. Actually, why don't I do something better? Louis Armstrong. I love Louis Armstrong. Right? So I'm going to play a song from Louis Armstrong, right? Why not, right? And this is me literally in my car right now playing this lovely, lovely, beautiful song for all of you wonderful, wonderful people. And I'm going to flip the camera. Who doesn't love that? So this is my system. You can see I've got Play Store, TradingView, Revance, you name it, everything is here. And this is how my system works. Simple, easy. Khalid, awesome, my man. So yeah, it's pretty simple like this. There we go. But as I said, I don't really need any of that because I can do this.
So pretty in the skies, also on the faces.
I'll let it play in the background, right? Get it back to the front camera. So obviously when I'm driving or I'm chilling in the car for whatever reason, I don't need, I'll kill the music. I don't need to look at the screen, but I have my TradingView chart. Hence, for me, that way I can navigate the markets. I can see exactly what's going on. If I'm on a call with a client or someone's calling me and they're like, dude, what's the market doing right now? What are you seeing right now? I'm literally on my main screen and I can tell you exactly what price it is immediately. You see what I mean? So for me, it just gives me that option. I do have Android Auto. By the way, I have Android Auto, I have Apple CarPlay, all in there, but they won't perform the same function. Also, another problem a lot of people have probably faced when they have Android Auto and this and that, you can't mirror your screen. And even if you do, you need another equipment and other apps and this and that. I don't need to mirror anything. It's just there. It's all synced. All my YouTube channels synced. My TradingView is synced. My Gmail is synced. Everything is there right in front of me. My phone is synced, obviously through Bluetooth. So because of that, I don't have to worry about like navigating, just a few taps here and there and I'm there. You know what I mean? So that's how it is. That's how I keep it. I'm going to kill YouTube because it's getting in my nerve. So yeah, I don't really sit and listen to music or watch anything. I've got Netflix here, by the way, guys. I mean, if I'm bored, I can watch Netflix. You know what I mean? I've got my Amazon, what's it, Amazon Prime movies or whatever. That's there too, and a few other bits and bobs. There is a mod movie app that I do use called Movie Box Pro. Paid, I think it's about $22 or something a year. It's great for some of the shows that I like to watch. Of course, I don't use it all the time, but I'm still a premium member with them because there are some shows that I can't watch. I need an entire different app for that. For example, Halo. I need to get a whole different subscription to watch Halo, one of my favorite shows. I love the series, right? So I'm not going to do that. But if I pay $22 for a year for the other guys, then I get it. And I'm not promoting anything here, guys. So please do understand that. But yeah, you know, that's how it is. That's my setup. Do you know what I mean? So I'm there literally every single day. I can see every single price right in front of me, and it's easy peasy, easy peasy. So yeah, let me know if there's anything else. Khalid, nice to see you here. I'm not sure if you've been on our stream before. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, guys, please do hit that subscribe. Help us grow this channel to at least 5,000. Our target is 10,000, but obviously we're not going to ask for that much, but at least 5,000 right now. Smash that subscribe button, hit that like button, or whatever, do it the other way around, and share with the community so that at least they can find value. And as I said, I will happily talk about anything. There is nothing off limits, unless there's something I don't know or something that may be bad or disrespectful or vulgar for the community. Then I won't say anything, guys. But other than that, anything else, I will definitely talk about it. Maxim says, can you talk about some new coins that have future, please? No. Maxim, you do not talk about new coins in a bull run, right? You do not, because the one thing when we have a bull market or a bull run, and there's a difference, by the way, guys. A bull market is a long period. A bull run is when we move up. So right now, when BTC dumped, it was a bear run, and these are cycles within a cycle. So it's not a bear market, it's a bear run, and we might have a bull run moving back up again, right? So that's a trend. Bull run and bear run are trends, right? And in a bull market, we don't look at new coins, because the one thing we know that is a fact in a bull market is we're going to be in a bear market very soon. All right. Now, of course, a bull market could last 6 months, 18 months, 2 years. Not an issue, right? Not an issue. But to change that narrative, it only takes a second. That's the issue, right? So because of that, we don't want to look at any projects right now, any fresh coins or fresh everything. Forget the narrative. We don't care about the fundamentals right now. Forget the future. None of that matters, right? What matters is we make the money. We make most of what we can, right? We save that money. We lock those profits in, and we're ready for a bear market, because that's when we're going to be looking at fundamentals. All right. Here's a coin. Would you think about this? Here's a coin. Would you think about this? Here's a coin. Would you think? Do you know what I mean? We're going to start talking about these coins, because that's when we want to make the maximum gains. We want to plug our funds in, and we want to wait for the future to come, and that's when we're going to make money. Like, for example, I talked about Aptos earlier on. That was technically in the beginning of the bull market. So it wasn't even in the bull market. It was just at the end of the bear market. We talked about Aptos. People plugged it in. People got it. Again, when we started moving and confirming the bull market, we talked about Celestia, but that was around the time when it came out. Looked awesome. Guys, there's no hesitation. You buy it, pick your bags, and just sit back and relax. Don't even look at it. Just throw money in and leave it and forget. Do you know what I mean? So that's how we will talk about certain coins. But right now, the narrative could change any single day. That's why we need to be extra cautious, because we don't want to be buying unnecessary tokens or coins because of fundamentals, right? Because the market might flip on us anytime. Do you know what I mean, right? So let's see what happens, right? I see hello here. Hello, my brother. Right? Maybe you could do some trading lessons. I could, if I was in front of my main computer on a laptop. I would definitely, I don't have my laptop with me. I haven't had it with me for God knows how long. I left it somewhere. So I went to do a meeting with someone, and I actually left it in their office, and I haven't gone to pick it up. So yeah, So luckily, most of my trading I do on a computer, so it's okay. At home, I got the PC, so I do on the PC. But yeah, my laptop is what I normally do all the trading lessons and everything as well, because the account is set up slightly different there. I have some sub accounts that I can show to people. I don't like to show my main accounts, guys. I'm not a flashy guy. I would not flash anything. I'm not going to show you Lambos, and I'm not going to show you some big offices and some fake green screens. No, right? You want to see Niagara Falls? Oh, I'm sitting in front of that. No, I don't do that. Right, I will not do some fake ass shit here. Trust me, this is real. This is me. I still got my seatbelt on. I was literally driving. I'm still on the highway, by the way. I'm still on the highway. So on the highway, there's a little space, and I'll show you. You don't believe this is hilarious, right? Check this out. I am actually on the highway. Look at this. This is a highway. I'm still on a highway, but I found a little space where I park up, like stop the vehicle. That's why I stopped. I still have my seatbelt. I'm still on a highway. Why do I have a seatbelt? Let me explain to you. Of course, I've stopped where it's safe to do so, but what if some prick comes behind me and smacks my car? You know what I mean? So because of that, I still have my seatbelt because I'm still on a highway, right? I don't mess around. I'm still on a highway. So, yeah. And yeah, I mean, basically, if I cross that bridge over there, then I'm in central London. So I'm not even in central London right now. And I live in central London. I need to cross that bridge to enter London. Believe it or not, I haven't entered London yet, right? So that's what it is. We are going to talk about, but as I said, Maxim, we will definitely take a pick. I've done this before as well, where we take a day and we only talk about coins and their fundamentals. And we will definitely do talk about that. But right now, it's not the right time to talk about any of those things. Right now, you want to get in, you want to snipe, you want to make your money, and you get the hell out, right? That's all I'm going to say. And follow the narrative. That's the most important thing. So narrative could be anything. It could be AI. It could be meme coins. It could be NFTs. It could be anything, right? And I don't support NFTs, but it could be anything. If it is, then yeah, by all means, right? Trading lessons. I would happily do trading lessons. You know, some sort of a trading lesson. I do lessons, by the way. Don't get me wrong. I do lessons, but I normally do it because let's put it this way. Trading lessons are very expensive. They're not like video stuff. I don't recommend to anybody. There are plenty of YouTube channels out there who are showing you trading lessons, but I don't know of many people who have actually learned anything. No, because there's a hands-on experience. You won't see that in a video. When you're looking at a video, you're looking at what that person does and how that person's strategy works. And you're going to go over and over again, watch their videos over and over again. But even then, it will be hard for you to master how it works. But when you do it in practice, and I always say to people, I say, look, of course, I do one-to-one lessons, and you know, through my consulting and my other ventures, right? And when people come to me, I say, do it hands-on. You know, whether you want to do $10, $20, $100, practice money. You get that practice money and you trade it live. Then you get the feel for how this works, and you actually understand the patterns. Like, oh, okay, so this is when you enter. This is how you set up this, and that's how I kind of teach people. But of course, I'll do some trading lessons if that's what you want at some stage. But right now, I'm not going to give you one. However, what I do say to many people, and I've said it before as well, trading is all in the head, right? And let me break this down, and that will make sense to you. So to be a good trader, and this is going to be lesson number one. I would definitely give you this as a lesson number one, right? And I do give this to everybody else as well. To be a trader, number one rule you must have is how much are you willing to risk? If you cannot control how much you're going to risk, you shouldn't be trading, right? Professional gamblers know how much they're going to risk. They'll go and stake millions, but they know how much they're going to risk because that's the money they are willing to lose. So similar way, think about trading as a gambling, you know, a professional gambling, right? But you do it in such a way that you have control over how much you're going to invest. So say, for example, your budget is $100. My recommendation is you don't even play the $100. You play $50. So you're not even risking all of the amount that you are willing to risk. Does that make sense? So it's about mindset. Once you enter, now that's that. Once you enter the trade, so you say, okay, I want to buy. I want to buy this coin, and I'm talking about spot market before I get to leverage, right? So let's talk about spot market. So your mindset has to be, I want to buy this particular coin. I want to identify a trend, and I want to buy at that exact point. So you've kind of marked up and you said that's the point I want to buy. So you buy at that particular point. But then you must be able to, at that time, before you press the buy button, you have to make a decision. When are you willing to let it go? 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, 5% below the price that you bought? Are you willing to let it go? Because that would be your stop loss. Or The other thing is okay, I'm moving up, the market's great. When am I willing to exit, right? So necessarily you don't have to exit, especially in crypto, we're very volatile. But what I do recommend is move the stop loss up so that you lock the profit in. Even if it's 5%, it doesn't matter. Most people are looking for the 100x gains. Guys, forget that. That doesn't happen to everybody every day. There are some people who get lucky, but not everybody, right? But focus on this. What if you could make 1% every single day that you trade? And say, for example, hypothetically, you trade 365 days. You've just made 365%. Now imagine you multiply that. Right? You say, okay, do you know what? Okay, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do 5% a day. Hypothetically, you're making 5% a day. Well, 5% a day times 365, you do the maths. That's like close to like 1,700%. Hold on, didn't you just did 1,700%? Isn't that 17x your money? You did that in a year. You can do that in a bear market, right? Okay, let's go a little bit higher. Maybe you make 10% a day, right? Okay, fine. You're a genius now. You mastered it. You make 10% a day. Well, if you make 10% a day, isn't that 3,600% in a year? You can do that in a bear market, right? So that's the psychology you must have. Is like, when do I enter? What am I willing to let go? How far do I want to go? And most importantly, when you've made your money, am I going to take my initial investments out and some profits as well? Because it's okay to let go. And unfortunately, too many people have the mindset this is going to go to the moon because they've been brainwashed or they're getting outside influence. I won't give you that. I will never ever give you that. If I see a coin at a good price, I would say, yeah, buy, hold, sell it at the top of the market. And I'll do it just casually, right? I'm not going to try and wow anything because I have no interest, right? But if we're in a particular cycle, I'll be like, guys, get the hell, make your money and get the hell out. Get the hell out. Don't marry the coin, right? Don't marry the coin. So, Khalid from Sudan. Nice, my brother. Nice. Wow. Watch some of your videos, but it's the first time live. Cheers from Sudan. Nice. Massive. Like, we're a global community. Much love. Honestly, much love. Nice to see a lot of guys coming from a lot of the places around the world. It's always, I don't know how to say it. It's like me starting in a small town in Hertfordshire, London, in England, right? In Hertfordshire, starting in a small town with only 14, 15, 16 people on YouTube in the beginning and doing it for that community, and look where we are today. Right, I think we just hit like 3,109, 8 or 9 subscribers. It's been growing rapidly. That's an awesome thing. Getting loads of likes and loads of comments. And I do appreciate that. I want to say thank you to everybody. Honestly, thank you everybody for supporting this channel, getting to where it is. A big thank you to all of you. And of course, I also want to say, if you are new here, please do consider subscribing. Let's grow this community. Let's get somewhere. Right? So it's going to be awesome. Maxim says, could be a accelerated bull run. Could be, may not be. It totally depends on, have we had enough? And it totally depends on the fear and greed index as well. Let me just say it in the most layman's term. What that means is, if we get too greedy and we hit a massive parabola, then yes, it is going to be an accelerated bull market, and it's going to end very fast, and it's going to end very badly as well. However, if it's not a parabola and we can go steady and move up slowly and do these 10%, 5%, 15% corrections, but keep the market up and not pump the fear and greed index to 90% or 99%, we can steadily move up and actually keep this bull market going for another year and a half, 2 years. We can do a nice slow grind, and I respect the slow grinds because they give you bigger returns over a longer period of time. For example, the market has enough chance because more people will see that actually, no, the market's not bearish yet. We haven't entered a bear market, and more funds come in and more people are excited, more people start buying stuff. And actually, we might even talk about new coins during that time, right? And we grow. Do you know what I mean? So the market also grows with it. Currently sitting at $2.34 trillion. We might get to $6 trillion, $4 trillion. You know what I mean? So the market will also respect the prolonged time we have. So we need this market to move steady right, in order for us to get to a higher number and, you know, have a better result at the end of all of this, right? So Maxim says, I got to make a few calls. I still have to Friday here, PM. Thanks for your videos. I just got a coffee. I just got you a coffee, bro. More people should watch your videos. You're a great man, brother. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much for the coffee, my brother. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Listen, nobody has to ever give me anything. I don't want anything off anybody. I've just had a whole bunch of close friends and I would say colleagues and other supporters as well, who just kind of bugged me. They're like, dude, man, we just want to thank you. And so they're like, we just want to buy you a coffee. I was like, okay, do you know what? If that's what you want, I'm going to literally create a buy me a coffee link and I'll leave it there and then do whatever you want, right? And yeah, so thank you. I do appreciate that, Maxim. You don't really have to. Remember, I'm not here for anything. I don't need anything off anybody. I do not need anything off anybody. Just love, care, and your support. That's it, nothing more. Khalid says, great content. We'll share the link everywhere for sure. Also, my brother, I do appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, it's a month of giving, right? So Khalid, I'm also a Muslim. It's a month of giving. It's Ramadan right now. But even if it's not Ramadan, I've always been as sincere as possible and as humble as possible. I have a belief system that every day I must do something that will help somebody at least improve something in their life, right? And it's not always about money and wealth and this and that. No, it's not. Sometimes, you know what? Just one good gesture, a small smile can change someone's day forever. You know what I mean? Like today, there was this one lady, so I own a restaurant, right? So this one lady came to my restaurant and she sat all alone and she sat in a corner and she didn't look well. It's like something's not right. You know, you can tell from someone. I gave her a smile. I said, how are you? How is your day? You know, what can I do for you? So the lady's talking and I understood what her problem was, right? And it's something to do with financials. She sat there, I said, eat whatever, drink whatever, doesn't matter, enjoy yourself, right? So obviously I was kind of busy, so I couldn't really go and spend some time, but anyway, I did my best. And then she said, can I have the bill? So I gave her the bill, right? And I only charged her half the money. And she was like, why'd you do that? I said, you're having financial difficulties. I'll tell you what, when you resolve your financial difficulties, and you know, and I appreciate that you've spoken to me. I don't know why you would tell me what your situation is, because you clearly don't look like someone who's got financial problems. But if you do genuinely have this problem, when your financial problems are sorted, come back, see me, and you can tip me. How about that? You know, and you should see the smile on this lady's face, right? It was just unbelievable, right? And I thought, at least I did something. You know, it's not always about the money. It's not all it was about, like, oh, I just want to take this off you and take that. So that's what it is, right? And you know, I don't believe that we should only be sincere or humble in certain time of the day, year, month, whatever, right? We should always be the exact same person. We should respect those morals that we have and just move forward with this. But as I said, if there's anything else you guys want me to talk about, drop it in the comment right now. I'll happily talk about it. Unfortunately, as I said, I can't do trading because you know, trading is a whole different story. I can't teach you trading right now, but that is a mindset you need to understand regarding trading, guys. You have to be in total control, total emotional control, and there are decisions you need to make before you press that button. Remember, you cannot press that button. You are not allowed to press that button until you made those decisions, and that's how you become a pro trader, right? People say, oh, it took me 20 years to become a pro trader. No, it can take you 20 minutes to become a pro trader if you have the correct mindset. It could take you 20 minutes to become a pro trader. It's all about mindset, all right? It is not about how you trade or how much you trade and how much you make, you know, none of that. Most pro traders, let's put it this way, out of every 10 trades, most pro traders will end up losing 7 trades. Did you know that? Pro traders will end up losing 7, but they only need 3 to succeed, right? Because it's all about how you double up, right? There's this maths, it's crazy maths, right? Say, for example, you lose $1. On the next trade, you trade $2. On the next trade, you trade $4, and you keep on doubling that number and you get higher number. Eventually, if you have 3 times a good result, right, out of the 10, so you've lost 7 trades, right? But on the 3 times, if you win, then you actually win more than you lost. Does that make sense? It's like a gambling, mathematical gambling psychology. That's what most pro traders use. That's why I call it gambling. However, when I trade, I do not call it gambling. Why? Because I made my decision. I know when I want to enter. I know when I want to exit. I know how to move my stop losses, and I'm monitoring the market and I'm moving it up. And also when I'm trading, I make sure I trade only in my hours that I'm available. Khalid says, Ramadan Kareem. Thank you, my brother. Ramadan Kareem to you too, my brother. You did great to the lady in this great month. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. So yeah, I mean, look, we do what we do, you know. Yep, that's, you know, sometimes you just do things like lady, man, woman, child. We do it without thought. It becomes part of your nature, if that makes sense, right? I come, like today, believe it or not, I posted on, so this video, before I came on a live stream, I sent a message to my Discord server, and that's where I spend a lot of the time. And that's where most of my loyal communities are. And I went there and I said, guys, do you want me to go on live? I'll come on live and I'll talk about anything. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't have to be a subject. Why does it always have to be a subject? Why does it have to be a clickbait? It doesn't have to be a clickbait, right? I don't do clickbait anyway. I'm freaking bad at it, believe me. But it doesn't have to be. So we'll talk about anything. One person, Maxim, he came on and he said, let's go. Fine, no worries. I literally came on live, right, for one person. Why? Because that one person wants me and needs me on a video. Maybe I'll bring him some joy, or at least help him with some question. And I knew what he wanted to talk about. He wanted to talk about Caspar, which is fine. And I'll happily talk about it publicly with everybody. But if other people can also get benefit, why not? Right? So our intention, my intention was to talk to one person. Many others come along. If they got value, why not? Do you know what I mean? Why not? Because at least that way my intention was fulfilled for that one person. And unintentionally, maybe other people also got some benefit out of it. So that's what it is. I mean, just, you know, it's like kind of words of wisdom. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So, you know, yes, sometimes when you do certain things, it becomes second nature. You know, for me, it's just second nature. Maxim says, I'm still here listening, just double tasking. But Maxim, did I say anything wrong? All right. Because it was you who said, yep, let's go. And I said, yep, let's go. Just share the link with everybody else. Let's do this. Let's do this. You know, RA, I'm sure, I don't know if he's here, but RA is one of those. He always comes to every one of my live stream. Every one of my live stream. Awesome, awesome, awesome. El Bubble, one of my older subscribers and a dear friend as well. We've actually met in person as well a couple of times. And I think we both drive the same kind of car as well, right? So awesome as well. And I've met him and he's got a busy life. He's not far from, so where my business is not far from there. And yeah, I mean, he's one of my older subscribers and he watches every one of my videos. So I was quite surprised that recently I haven't seen him. And now I know that apparently YouTube banned him for whatever reason from commenting on my videos. I'm going to go and investigate that. Why? Because El Bubble was one of my first, like one of the viewers who always comments on every one of my videos. The moment I release it, Bubble's got a comment. I'm like, whoa, Bubble's there. Awesome. And he always says legend. He's always there. So yeah. So Maxim says, yeah, no, that's why I'm saying that, because you are a great person. I want to hear every single word you say. Also, my brother, thank you. I do appreciate that. As I said, you know, if there is anything you guys want me to talk about, any subject, anything, just even conspiracy theories and whatnot. I do like conspiracy theories, by the way. One of my most favorite subjects is conspiracy theories, but with a twist. I say with a pinch of my opinions. And what that means is there are plenty of conspiracy theories out there, published, unpublished. There are communities of it, right? On 4chan, on Reddit, you name it. There are hundreds of people out there with their theories. And it's great and I love it. I binge on this stuff, right? But what I like the most is I take parts of these and I come up with an entire new theory, if that makes sense. Or at least to me. So, and that kind of, I don't know, I just like it. I was like, okay, here's what people are saying and here's what I think it is. And if it makes sense to me in some particular way, then I love it. Right. I see. Maxim says, by the way, you promised to tell me a story, remember, about a conspiracy. Remind me which one it was, brother, because there's so many. I had, what was his name? Bobby recently on Discord says he wanted to talk about how did the Zionist movement come on. And I said, I'll talk about it, but he vanished because apparently his cousin was having some crisis with some crypto. So he had to go and help him out. So yeah, he helped him out. That's fine. That was a Zionist one. I did want to talk about, I think the one I promised you was the one about BTC. I did actually do it. In fact, Maxim, I did 2 live streams. On one, I kind of blitzed through about the BTC conspiracy, and the shadow government one. I kind of blitzed through and I kind of hinted a few things there. Then I did another one about UFO conspiracy, or my theories on UFOs, and how I believe that UFOs are man-made. And in that one, I kind of also briefly mentioned BTC. I haven't done it in depth. I could do one in depth if you want. I mean, I could start now, but I think it will probably be too long unless you want to stick around and listen to this. Then yeah, or I can just blitz through it again and make some sense for you, because there's a lot. You know, for Maxim says, a real analyst will always take in consideration all sides of the story of the argument and look at the situation from different angles. That's how an opinion is formed, the right opinion, unbiased. Exactly, yes, exactly. So when I do a theory, I do not say it's a fact. I will never say it's a fact. I always say it's an opinion. It's my opinion. This is just my thought that I have. It's a theory based on multiple theories that I have, and that's how it is. Because I'm not saying this needs to be published, or this is it, or I am right, or I am wrong. No, I'm just saying, look, guys, there are probabilities. Look at the probabilities or the possibilities of something else being a narrative. Let's not just take what's been fed to us, right? Because what you have to understand is a lot of the time, the mainstream information that is there, that is not being censored, is there for a reason. And that's a conspiracy as well, right? So this is a conspiracy theory. The stuff that we see on the internet could be censored, completely wiped off the face of the earth, right? But why is it still there, right? If these are bad conspiracies, why doesn't Google get rid of all of them? Most people say, oh, Google can't keep up. No, Google can keep up. Google just needs a bunch of keywords to wipe it off the whole internet. That's what they need. But they won't do it because they need some of these things to go on and carry on. Do you know what I mean? So when I see these published conspiracy theories, I'm a bit iffy about it. I'm like, okay, there's a reason why it's still there, right? I understand the Reddit ones. That's fine. They're community-based. I understand the 4chan ones. They're there. But Google, those ones there, I don't really trust, if that makes sense, right? So that's how I look at it, because it's all about who controls the server, controls the narrative. Why would Google leave some of them there? I'll tell you why, what I think, right? My theory. If you have so many variants or variations of a particular theory, the truth may be in one of them, but it's really hard to identify which one it is anymore, right? And that's fine. Google will allow that to happen because you don't really know the truth. Everyone is real. Everyone is saying the truth, or everyone is not saying the truth, right? I mean, there's so many, like, and I kind of go back to history to look at certain things. I mean, how about this one, right? Let's do this one. Antarctica, right? Antarctica. One of the best Antarctica conspiracy theories out there is to do with Admiral Richard E. Byrd, I believe, B-Y-R-D, I think his name. Fascinating story, and how the story unfolds, right? And unfortunately, in that story, there are some contradictions, right? And I believe that's because that's how it was sold and that how it was planned to be. Because obviously after he passed away, his son apparently had a diary. That diary came out, so there are some conspiracies regarding that. But the one thing that is a fact, this is what I want to say, the one thing that is a fact, so the diary could be a fake, I don't know, I don't care. No, I don't know if anyone's verified it. It doesn't matter. Richard Byrd being there and all the story behind that, maybe it's a whole smokescreen, doesn't matter. I have my theory behind that, why he went there. But there is one fact that is undeniable. 3 months, and the fact is 3 months after he passed away, 12 countries around the globe decided to sign the Antarctica Treaty 3 months after his death. Why? That's not a coincidence, right? So, Sorab Paul, nice to see you. Awesome. Please do hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. Nice to see you here. Nowadays, everything seems to be something conspiracy theory, or maybe it's not, and I am just feeling a little extra, or may it was always there. Hold on. Maybe I'm feeling a little extra, or may it was always there. I just grew up. Okay, no, Sorab. Okay, conspiracy theories are great things. I actually encourage people to come up with their own theories. Conspiracy theories are fantastic. As a person, as a human, we have been given a gift. As a human, as an intellectual person or anything, doesn't matter. We've been given a gift. We've been given a gift. It's a genetical gift we have. We have a freaking brain. We have a brain that fires a trillion signals per second or something stupid like that, right? Some ridiculous number that even scientists can't fathom. Scientists have admitted they have only understood 10% of the entire brain. They don't even understand 90% of it. They've admitted that. There's papers out there. So imagine this. We have been given a gift to think, to use our mind. Religious people will say free will, right? Now, if we are taking information from our surroundings and we believe that to be it, where is our opinion? Where is our free will? So we need to use our own free will and our own thoughts, right? Because we've been given a gift to come up with our own version. It's okay. You know, if someone said salt is salty, I accept. And if someone says salt is not salty, it's sweet, I also accept, right? But what's my opinion? Both persons, there's no reason for them to be right or wrong, because I don't know what it tastes like, right? So obviously, the one logical thing for me to do is go and taste it for myself. And then I make an opinion, is it salty or is it sweet? Does that make sense, right? So that's how we have to be. As a human, we are, these days, we live in a society where information is given to us. And unfortunately, we are taking the information. Not myself, I disagree with that. I haven't sat in front of a full screen TV, right? Listen to this, and this is going to freak you out. I haven't sat in front of a full screen TV to watch a movie, a TV show, or anything in the last almost 20 years now. Close to 20. It hasn't been 20 years, but close to 20 years. I haven't watched a movie or anything like this. I've glimpsed at it, I've browsed at it because I do have a TV at home. However, the TV at home, where I sit, so in my living room where I sit, I have my chair facing away from the TV. So I don't look at the TV. When I'm there, I'm looking at the wall, not the TV. Yes, I could hear it, but I don't look at it because I don't want those kind of things to influence me. I don't care about the world. I don't care about the news because I have too many problems of my own. And have you ever seen a news company giving you any good news apart from depressing news to keep you more depressed? That's information that's given to me. I don't want that. I need to make my own opinion. I've been given a gift to make my own decisions. So that's all I'm saying, right? Let's see. Maxim says, Huxley or Orwell were right about the future. Yeah, story of Admiral Byrd is crazy. Yeah, I mean, okay, I believe that, what's his name? George Orwell, right? His name is not George Orwell, by the way. That's his pen name. Apparently, he's got a different name. I forgot his real name. I do know his real name. It's just not coming to me right now. But George Orwell, the author or the pseudonym, I believe there's some codes. There's some hidden codes in there. I don't care about the movie and this and that. You know, it's a fiction. Apparently, I don't think so. I think there was more than fiction there. You know. It doesn't make so. What didn't make sense to me is the story about him, some biography about him. Apparently, he went around and worked in, fields and this and that. Worked amongst other people to learn about them and feel about them. I think that's nonsense. Honestly, I don't know how much of that history is true. Honestly, I don't know, because this is a guy who's well off, who's been in in the military, in the service and whatnot, and his family's, I don't know. I mean, look, I can't go into that, but I think there's some code in that 1984, because after 1984 there was another book that was released, which was called what was it called? Brave New World, right? Brave New World. And Brave New World tries to kind of say 1984 is not what you think it is, right? Oh, it's a whole different, and kind of plays down on it. And I don't agree with that. I'm like, well, hold on, he's on a point. And then also, if you look right now in this current time era we're in, the Brave New World isn't banned or censored from bookshops and this and that, right? Whereas in George Orwell's 1984 is being censored. They're being taken off bookshelves. Why? Why would you take a book from the 1940 whatever? Why would you take it off the shelves and say, oh no, we don't want this to be published anymore? But yet you're willing to serve Brave New World, which I don't agree with. Do you know what I mean? Well, I do agree with some form, but what I'm trying to say is, compared to both together, I give more to George Orwell, right? So there must be some sort of a hidden code in there. I'm sure 100 years from now, maybe 200, 300 years from now, just like Da Vinci, they will say, oh, George Orwell's 1984 code. They'll talk about it like the way they talk about Da Vinci's hidden code, because there is a lot of code in Da Vinci. There's a lot of maths in Da Vinci. So let's see what happens. Maxim says, Paul, there is a reason why we feeling like conspiracy theories are all around. It is really because there are circumstances to feel like they are there. As a famous philosopher said, there is no wrong sides in an argument. Absolutely. That is exactly the point. So you said it in one sentence. One sentence. Now I have started to believe in creation begins with destruction. Absolutely. Listen, yin and yang. Yin and yang, right? Let's just say yin and yang. I think so. I think Brave New World was written by Huxley, but I can't remember the author because I'm not a massive fan of Brave New World. I am a bigger fan of 1984 George Orwell. I own 2 copies of the book. The original copy, I found an antique version, the original copy, and I also have a paperback as well, which I have lying around the house somewhere. And I also have the audio book. And believe it or not, there's been a few other like inspiration and business books that I've bought, but those books I just buy it. I don't care. I just bought it for the sake of it. I just bought it because I wanted it. I just bought it because I wanted to keep a part of that history. Remind myself that there is something there. I'm not saying he's correct. I'm not saying none of that. I'm just saying there must be something there. That's all it is, and that's my theory that I have. But yeah, I mean, as I said to Sora, yin and yang, we cannot have a positive without a negative. It just won't exist. We cannot have yes and without a no. You know what I mean? We cannot have light without dark. Similar way, creation cannot happen without destruction, and you need destruction in order to create, right? So for example, if you go and build a house, right, and on a piece of land, you want to go and build a house, what's the first thing you're going to destroy? The land itself, right? Because you need to build a foundation. So think about it. You can't just build a house and just say, oh, that's it, right? You can't go and say, oh, I'm going to go in the middle of the river or whatever, or a lake, and build a cabin. Sorry. You're not going to go to the middle of somewhere and, or just say like a field and build a house just like that, because the house needs a foundation. The first thing you're going to destroy is the ground itself in order to start building your property. So it starts from a destruction. You build something, right? Many religions, many cultures talk about many different things, but I believe there's some truth in all sorts of myths and legends. And ultimately, the universe, even science talks about it, even culture, religion talks about it. For example, in let's just say Christianity, they say, how the universe was built in 6 days, or the earth and everything was built in 6 days, and on the 7th day, man was given, or let there be light, right? There must be some sort of truth there. You know what I mean? I'm not going to go deep into that because my mind is not wired to talk about religion right now. So we're not going to talk about it. I just Googled it. Okay, so you just Googled it was Huxley. Huxley told about future that we're gonna have so much information that won't be able to find the truth. On the other hand, or will told that gonna be deprived of the information. So this yes, you're right. This is one of the things. But funnily, okay, so I'm just trying to remember now. So what was it called? So on 1984, right? All not all will. Right. No, okay, let's just say this way. In 1984, they had the truth police, or whatever they call it. I can't remember the word for word, right? It's just not coming to my mind. But the truth police, or the bureau of whatever information and this and that. So what you'd see is I love this shout. Thank you, my brother. Also. So what you'll see is basically the Bureau of Truth, or let's just say the Truth Academy, whatever you want to call it, right? They were responsible. So he talks about it, how they're responsible for giving misinformation, right? So it was the opposite. Everything that there was an organization for, they were doing the opposite, right? If there was an agency for taking away hunger, they were creating more hunger, right? If there was a place for truth, they were doing misinformation. That was happening. So in the Brave New World, obviously they're talking about the same thing, but in a whole different light, and they're not wrong. It is true, right? And in the way, like, for example, there's so much information out there right now, and that's what I was talking about, Google, right? Why take away a truth or a conspiracy away from the web when you can create so much of it that it becomes misinformation, because you don't know what to trust anymore. That's where my kind of a thought process comes in. It's like, that's fine. It's okay. I see all of it. I see you all. I'm omnipresent, right? I am the Google of the Google. I see you all. I'm going to binge on all of that. But the view I'm going to have is going to be my own, not yours. So that changes everything for me. So that's how I do the thing. So any information, whether it's good information, bad information, misinformation, fake information, doesn't matter. I will take all of that and I'll respect them for what they are, even though I probably won't like the person who said it or anything. Doesn't matter, because I'm not here to judge the person, but the narrative they're trying to sell me. And I'll take that and I'll say, right, what's my views, right? Because that's what matters. What did I decide that I want to do about it? How do I think about it? How do I feel about it? There are so many political situations going around the world, right? This war, that war, religious war, cultural war, this genocide, that genocide. And I look at all of them. Right? And I have my views. And, there are some strong views I have. There are some weak views I have, right? But ultimately, I see them for what they are. And I have my own opinion regarding them, right? And I'll probably have an entire conspiracy regarding them, right? So I could be right, I could be wrong, but I don't intend to be right or wrong. Does that make sense? My intention is not to be right or wrong. It's an opinion, it's a view. If that view satisfies me, I'm okay. If that view helps me keep calm and say, I understand. I don't need to act on it, but I understand, right? And that makes me move forward. Why not? You know what I mean? So that's all it is. So we just did a whole freaking lecture, I think like 20 minutes on opinions and conspiracy theories. Oh well, not oh well. Yes, my brother. Yes, the same point. So okay, I see what you mean. So when you were saying or we're told that we're going to be deprived of information, yes. So there are multiple ways, right? Multiple ways how this happens. Like the way I pointed out on another video. And let's go to what you were talking about, like Bitcoin itself. Bitcoin, the name, for example, why did it have to be Bitcoin? All right. It didn't have to be Bitcoin. It could have been Bitcurrency for all we know. We have this narrative. Bitcoin is not crypto. It's true. Bitcoin is not crypto, but crypto is not Bitcoin either. And crypto isn't everything else either, right? The definition of crypto is cryptography, right? It's derived from that. So it means a whole different thing. It means secrecy, right? So ultimately, the way I look at it is crypto is not Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency. A cryptocurrency is different, right? And Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. Does that make sense, right? So there's that level of information that kind of misguides you. So of course we always say crypto, but necessarily crypto is not Bitcoin, and neither is any other coin crypto, right? They have certain functionalities or certain built-in features that have cryptography inside them in order to secure the blockchain. So that's how it is. Hence why we say crypto. But you know, I ask myself, why did we call it Bitcoin? You know, why not something else, right? Bit dollar, whatever. It could have been anything. If it's going to be money or a peer-to-peer payment system, why Bitcoin? There's a reason behind that, right? Sure, the person who created it or the group of people who created it, whatever. I'm not claiming Satoshi is one individual. Could be many, could be nobody. Right? It could be a person from the future, and there are theories out there. There are crazy theories out there, but yeah. Oh my, I'm going to talk about CDC. So yeah, so end of the day, that could be. But the part that fascinates me the most is Satoshi Nakamoto. If you look at Satoshi Nakamoto and you take it and you break it down, you say Satoshi Nakamoto. So you have to break it into 3 words. If you break into 3 words, it literally, there's a translation for it, and those translations will come up with all sorts of crazy stuff. But if you look deep enough and you do it to true Japanese, it kind of says central agency or central authority, right? Inner central authority. Satoshi is inner central authority, something weird like that. So when you look at that, that then starts ringing bells. And oh, hold on, these are alarm bells, right? What's going on? So somebody clearly very, very highly, very smart, well-researched, knew exactly what to call it, and also call himself that as well. Could be taken any way, but maybe the clue's there. Why not leave something in plain sight? You know what I mean? So, but again, I'm not bearish about it. I don't see a problem with it. I don't care who created it. Honestly, as I say, as long as it makes me money, I don't care. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to marry it. I'm not going to die with it. It's not going to bury me. It's not going to do anything else to me. I can't feel it. Do you know what I mean? So it's not going to turn me on. Ultimately, if it makes me money, digital or physical, I'll take it. Do you know what I mean? So that's how it is. By the way, don't you think that they are trying to use cryptocurrency as the substitute for CBDC? No. CBDC isn't something new. So CBDC, central bank digital currency, and this is, I've said this many times. I talked about many guys who are fiat fans. So they love fiat. They talk about fiat. Nothing else matters to them. Fiat is real. You can touch it. You can feel it, right? You can hide it. You can do whatever. You can go and smuggle, do whatever. Fiat. They all understand fiat, right? But what they don't realize, there's only about 4% fiat around the globe. Physical money, fiat around the globe, right? The other 96% is digital in the first place. Now, there is a difference between CBDC and the current digital money that they have, right? And I'll explain this, right? This will kind of make sense. And this, I'm going to try and explain it in the way I understand it. So, of course, guys, this is not fact. This is not financial advice. This is not expert financial anything, right? It's just the view and opinion I have. Maybe it makes sense to you, maybe it doesn't. It made sense to me, so that's enough for me, right? As I said, what's enough for me? What satisfies me? So that satisfies me. And let me explain this to you. So digital form of money has existed for decades, right? Since the creation of computers, probably a decade after the computers were created. So they already had a form of digital currency. In fact, I even went back to the Medicis in the shadow government theory, where I said Medicis were literally holding people's gold from either side for people to trade around the globe, while they were the central bank. In fact, they were the first ever central bank. So technically, it was digital. Of course, it wasn't in the age of computers, but it was still digitally being kept because it wasn't physically moved. You know, the definition of physical and digital, that's what it is. Artificially, numbers were being moved on paper while they held the funds in their bank. That's digital as far as I'm concerned. And that happened in the 1500s. The Medici family, go and check it out, Google it, right? They're the first ever actual official bank. And I'm sure they're still involved. The family's still involved, right? Because they've branched out into many other families, right? Many other families. Maxim G says 11%. Yes, I would agree, probably 11%. But then out of that 11%, let's put this into perspective. 7% is printed by the institutions, the governments, the shadow governments, in order for their drug trades, their weapons trades, and all the nefarious stuff that they do, all the black market deals. That's the 7%. So we're talking about the 4% that you and I use, not the 7% that they use for cash dealings. Because remember, the biggest money laundering that happens around the globe, the most anonymous type of currency is physical currency, the one that nobody could track. That's what they use. So that's the other 7% that I wasn't talking about. Anyway, let's get back to the game, right? So the money is digital. They move it digitally. So most people in trade and commerce, right, or retail, when we're moving funds from our bank to bank, no bank is physically moving money. The only physical money they actually ever produce or move from one location to another is usually cash machines to the bank, or bank to the cash machine, so they can make it available for you. That's all it is. Or businesses depositing to a bank. That's the only cash that ever moves, right? Yes, the ones that lived in Florence. So what was I saying? So that's the only physical money that ever moves around, right? So everything else has been digital. However, and this is the most important thing, different central banks around the globe have a different mechanism. So they don't allow people, like, say, for example, UK bank can't just tap into USA bank and take funds and deposit funds and do whatever. They have to seek permission, international permission, right? So that was the problem. So they had to still go through their legal systems and their jargons, right? It's all about money, basically, how much more money they could make off each other. So they're trying to rip us off, and they're trying to rip each other off. That's what was happening. So it's all about how much money can we make, right? So that's what was going on. Now, with CBDC, what they're trying to do is change that, because, you know, as I said, it could be that CIA, FBI, NSA, GCHQ, MI5, MI6, God knows whatever, even the Interpol in Europe, God knows who is. It could be anybody. It could be an entire shadow government. It could be the Medicis, right? It could be the Medicis from Florence who come back to haunt us and create some digital stuff, right? But what they've realized is you can create a system within a system. So the CBDC, central bank digital currency, every central bank has their own form of a currency, which now they can trade with each other permissionless while monetizing it via code. Code is law. So they know that we can code it in such a way that all the manual stuff that we had to do before, we don't have to do anymore. These people are doing it with crypto. Let's take some inspiration and let's do it with them, right? So that's all they're doing, in my opinion. Because remember, there's two forms of in fact, I think there's three forms. I don't know. I'm not sure about the third form, but I know there's two forms of CBDC. There's a CBDC that the banks will use amongst themselves, right? So that they can transact within themselves. And then they're going to have national CBDCs for each country, right? So you can only trade that within your country. So they still have that FX kind of foreign currency convertibility, because that's how they make money. Remember, they're trying to make money off each other. So that's all they've solved, is how to automate it with the central bank digital currency. But technically, so it's existed for a very long time. It's existed for a very long time, from the time of computers. It's already existed. In fact, you've heard of the term wire transfer. A lot of people don't know what the term wire transfer means. They use that in USA, by the way. They call it the wire transfer. Do you know what the wire transfer was? Telegram. They used to move money via telegram. They didn't physically move money. They just telegrammed each other. A wire transfer, literally a wire transfer. That's what it is, and the term still exists, right? So that's what it was, you know? So yeah, that's what it is. So CBDCs, it comes, one thing I can see, right? This is what I can see, right? CBDC also does one other thing as well, right? BIS. Okay, sorry, my mind. When I looked at BIS, because we also have a BIS in the UK. Yeah, there are so many, right? There are so many. Listen, how does, we're going to talk about this, right? We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this, right? This is going to be interesting. Listen, the money rabbit hole is crazy, right? But what was I? CBDC. So one thing the CBDC also wants to do is control you and you and I, right? And what they're doing now, right? Southampton, what method do you use to cash out to UK bank? So Stephen, I'm going to answer you quickly. Do you have a Binance account? So not Binance. Do you have a Coinbase account? If you have a Coinbase account or a Gemini account, like exchange account, you can transfer your crypto to them, sell it. Obviously, you need to sell it into GBP because those do allow it. And then you can just, if you have your bank connected, do your KYC level 1, and then you can send it over to your bank. Remember this, UK banks do not have a problem on how much money you receive. Remember that. UK banks do not have an issue with how much money you receive. If they do ask you a question, all they want to see is the receipt of which, where it came from. And if you say it came from an exchange, it's fine. I'm not supposed to say this, but I'll tell you this, right? If you go £9,999, you're fine. You do not get flagged for anything. But if you go to £10,000, you do get flagged. Now, most of the friends that I have in the banking sector, and I'm talking about guys who work for Goldman Sachs, guys who work for HSBC, guys who work for Royal Bank of Canada, I'm talking big boys, right? What they've said to me, they said, that's the threshold, right? Because it goes into, if it goes above 10,000, apparently there's this new law called the anti-terror law. So it flags up for that because that's what they're trying to prevent. They call it the anti-money laundering, but it's not true. What they said, if you don't want to trigger that, 5,000, right, per transaction is the best. In fact, one of the guys in HSBC, he does 4,999, even though he works for them. He's a senior manager there. So he says, nah, bro, even then, I don't bother because that way I'm peaceful. I always do 4,900 and I'll do 10 of those transactions if I have to, and it works for me. So, you know, that works. Yes, Bank of International Settlements. Yes, BIS, right. Maybe. I'm not going to say they're the bank of the bank, but we'll get into that part later because I don't think there's any bank of the bank. I think there's some random people just running everything, right? It's all smoke screens, right? It's smoke screens. And I'll explain why I say this, what my theory behind this, right? So, Stephen, I hope this kind of helped you understand. UK banks, the only problem we have is sending money to an exchange. That's when we are limited. Nationwide Building Society, the bank, bank or building society, whatever you call it, I found to be kind of peaceful. They will send it, they will allow you to do 5k every 24 hours. If you have 4 accounts with them, you can do 5k from each account, not an issue. Monzo used to be a bit arsy about it, but now Monzo has actually decided to allow people to send as much money as they want. However, sometimes when you're sending large funds from Monzo, they will ask you many questions. Why are you sending it? To protect you from losing your funds and to make sure you understand that investing in cryptocurrency is high risk. But if you can just say to them, like for me, I just say to them, look, I'm a pro trader, fuck off, right? Excuse my language, but I literally do, and then they just leave me alone, right? But they will kind of hassle you for like 2 days in a row, right? Really slow. I'm telling you, really slow. I don't like them at all. So that's them anyway. But yeah, if you do receive funds, then that's the thing. But usually, listen, I've had a lot of money sent over from the exchange, no issues at all. I've realized they don't have an issue as well. But then again, I have done a lot higher, so a lot of money coming into my account through my Nationwide bank. So I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just a Nationwide thing. Other accounts I haven't really sent much over, but there are other accounts that I have, and I have multiple accounts. Significant amount, I won't say large, significant amounts definitely I have had come through without any issues. But those were the advice my friends gave to me. But I've got no issues. I've got no anti-money laundering issues. I'm not breaking any laws. And definitely I'm not into this anti-terror business, whatever, right? So, you know, I'm just trying to help people do crypto, right? I'm a public guy, whatever I've said is here. So, you know, it is what it is. So I'm not doing anything nefarious. So I hope that kind of helps, right? So that's UK. And yeah, I've faced those issues. Now, going back to where we were, right? So let's go back to where we were. Right, we were talking about CBDC. So CBDC, what they're trying to do now is, and again, kind of relates to Stephen as well, is that they're trying to control us in a way, like where we can spend, how much we can spend, what we can buy, what we can't buy. And they're trying to do that. But that's more of like, what do they call them? There's a name for it, right? You know, when you're, what's it called? I can't remember what it's called. It's just not coming to me. I've been on this stream for too long. What was it called? I forgot what it's called. So basically, it's not coming to me. The only thing that's coming to me right now is FEMA, like FEMA camps. I don't know why FEMA's coming to me, but I'm trying to remember the name. There's a description for it. I'm trying to remember. It's just not coming to me. My brain's not working. But what they're trying to do is basically get us and control us in a society, like kind of lock us up, right? And block us, if that makes sense. I'm trying to explain it. So what they're trying to do is that we are not able to do anything without their permission, right? It's kind of like taking control of everything. So it's a hard one. You know, that's what they're trying to do with CBDCs, right? People think they're doing it to track you, to spy on you and this and that. To be honest, they're already doing it. If you are under the impression that they're going to do that later, you're wrong. They already do. Big Brother's already here. Every time you type something on your keyboard, on your phone, on your device, on your laptop, every keystroke, they already have it, right? They already have it, right? So they already know, and they have algorithms to sift through all of these, right? But depends how important you are, right? WEF, yeah, World Economic Forum. All right. No, there's more. It's not all about Klaus Schwab. There's more. We can go deep into this, but let's talk about this, right? So the way the CBDC wants to control you is they want to get us into a society where we are the puppets. They don't want free thinkers. Free thinking is banned, right? And this is where 1984 comes in, right? They don't want free thinkers. They want all the free thinkers to be shunned, and you know, people to say, oh, these guys are idiots, conspiracy theories, freaking nutters, idiots, and this and that. That's what it is, because that's what we are, right? We are a bunch of nutcases. We should be locked up in some psychiatric ward. We're completely, you know, we've lost it. We've lost the plot, right? We've lost the plot because we think free. We think outside the narrative. We think outside the box. So of course we're wrong, and it's okay. You know, earlier on, I don't know, today on Discord, I sent out a quote, right? I said, and in the quote, I said, I know I'm not normal, right? But I accept my differences as well as my similarities, or something like that, right? Remember that quote I gave, right? Why? Because I know I'm different. I accept it. I have many similarities to everybody else, right? But I also have differences, and I accept both of them equally. There's nothing wrong with me being different, and there's nothing wrong with me having similarities. You know what I mean? That just unifies me to everybody else. So that's what it is. But they are trying to control us in every possible way. I mean, there's going to be a time where we're going to need permission to, you know, get on a bus, probably, right? There might be these, they're going to try and do these kind of societies where, you know, we might, like they're calling it as well. They're saying, I forgot what it's called, man. It's not coming to me. But it's like, 15-minute cities, something like this, right? Where you can only travel 15 minutes from your home. So you can only work within 15 minutes from your home, the furthest you can go. And if you go outside of that area, they're going to try and say, oh, well, hold on. Why are you going outside? Do you have permission? So I think that's what they're doing. You know, some kind of crazy stuff is going to happen with CBDC because that gives them more control over us. So, of course, people like me try and stay decentralized. I've plugged most of my funds in the crypto sphere. Let's just say crypto sphere. Not because I feel safe, not because of anything, but because I don't want to give total control over to somebody else or some authority. I want to have some freedom, right? Even if it means I'm able to only play in the web, I'm okay. In the future, if I can only mess around in the web and actually never ever cash out, I'm still okay. I know that I'm free to do that. Does that make sense, right? So it's just one of those kind of mindset things. Like, I need to do this. So that's what I believe CBDC will eventually start doing. Not about spying and this. They're already doing it, guys. They don't give a shit. They're already doing it. Believe me. Every cash machine you go to, you've been given your picture. They already have it, right? And it's most of the big societies is happening. Like I'm talking about advanced, or let's just say Western societies or whatever, wherever there's camera systems and security, high security, they're doing it already. Now, third world countries, a whole different story. I'm not even going down there. That's a different story, right? So that's that. World Economic Forum, let's put it this way. World Economic Forum is, wait for it, and you're going to probably curse me. Thank you, Stephen. Awesome. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate that. World Economic Forum. So we all know World Economic Forum has most of the global elites as members there, from different parts of the world, different nations, prime ministers, this, that, kings, royalties, whatever you name it, they're all there. World Economic Forum. Carl Schwab is the leader. Don't blame him. Anybody could be the leader, right? It could be Putin or like it. Doesn't matter. The point I'm trying to make here, what people miss. World Economic Forum proposes this whole thing about climate change, right? Well, we've got to change the climate. It's about benefiting the people, right? Benefiting the people. But what they miss is it's a biggest charity on the freaking planet. Donations coming from nations into this project. They're literally washing funds. What they do with it, I don't care, right? Big institutions, corporations and countries and nations and prime ministers and, presidents or whatever, right? Royals and this and that. They're literally donating money to this foundation called WEF, World Economic Forum, for the greater good and the benefit of mankind, right? God knows for what, but that's money going in. They don't become members for nothing. That's money going in. What that money is used for, I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell you because I don't have access to them. That's just my theory. Of course, on the surface, they're changing the world, by all means. They're talking about how the planet is gone up by 1 degree, right? The temperatures rise by 1 degree. Didn't we have many of those events before? I don't know, maybe not, maybe the information I'm receiving or the information that I've researched isn't true, maybe. But again, these are things that people talk about. So I'm taking what I see and I'm like, okay, there are points people have made in the past. They're saying, well, this happened before, that happened before. We've had great floods before, we had ice ages before. There are layers in the soil, when you carbon date something. Okay, Steven says, I am with Nationwide. Seem okay, had 3 degree, but on now. Nationwide, yeah, they're pretty cool. I like them because they're at least transparent. They say, look, you can buy whatever you want. It's your money. That's what Nationwide said to me. And I'll tell you something else about Nationwide as well. They said, it's your money. Do whatever you want. If you need to send to a cryptocurrency exchange, you can send £5,000 every 24 hours from each of your accounts. Very transparent. They said, however, if you need to send more, right? If you need to send £25,000, just come to the bank, do it through the cashier. They would send £25,000, no problem, from each of your account. And if you need to send more, then come and make an appointment with the bank manager, sit with the bank manager and understand the risk and send more. Why wouldn't I? Do you know what I mean? So compared to other banks who are not transparent, right? Who would say one thing and do another thing, say, oh, you can do whatever, and then they'll block you. At least Nationwide's being transparent. And when you're trying to send more than, say, 5K, it will block you. It will count every pound, by the way. If you send $4.99, and then try and send another it won't allow you. It would literally allow you to only send £1 more. Brilliant. I love that, right? Transparent, not a hypocrite. And then when you receive funds, oh, I'm receiving a large sum of fund. Do you have a problem? You call them the first time. They're like, no, it's your money. Do whatever you want. We don't care where it comes from, as long as it's not from something flagged, right? Which is then a criminal offense. As long as it's not flagged and it's clean money, it's okay. We don't care where it comes from. So I love that. I love that. So yeah, that's what I believe, like, about the WEF. I personally think the WEF is collecting funds. What they do with the funds, I don't know. What it's for, I don't know. This whole climate change thing that I see right now doesn't make any sense. What does make sense to me is, as you know, scientifically, the planet itself, right? We have these rotating seasons, right? Now, unfortunately, the way we look at it is this is how brainwashed we are. We look at our calendar and we assume that spring, summer, autumn, and winter, or whatever other seasons you have, and there are countries out there who have many other seasons, right? They're on a fixed date. We say, oh, this day is spring, this day is summer. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? We don't have the same day rotating every month, every year. Year doesn't start on a Monday every year. What is wrong with you? So how can you have this specific date to be the day of spring, this specific date to be the day of summer? Are you not missing the fact that we're rotating 365 days? It doesn't start on the same day. A week doesn't. I mean, what's wrong with you? So that's the kind of bullshit we've been fed. Hence why we think there's global warming. No, the planet goes through a cycle and the planet rotates at its axis, right? Which means at over a certain distance of time, we could have a colder temperature in a warmer country, or a warmer temperature in a colder country, because we're rotating at a particular axis. And the axis could also change as well, because we do have axis rotation as well. So there are so many different things, right? Maxim says, absolute climate change is just a motive to start controlling population. I'll tell you what's controlling population, right? Right. Here's my theory about population control, right? They've attempted everything. They've attempted absolutely everything, not climate change. No, I think it's all ponies and rainbows. That's all I'm going to say. All right. I don't judge anybody. Go and do what you want, but don't rub it in my face. Right. I don't judge anybody. Go and do whatever you want. You're man, woman, whatever you want to identify as. You want to go and bark all day long. It doesn't matter. You want to be a dog. It's okay. I don't have a problem, but don't come and rub your ponies and your rainbows in front of me. No, I do not accept that. I love rainbows, but don't rub it in my face, right? Don't make this into an attribute. And what that is, that's how you control population. Make everyone into whatever, right? And stop producing kids. Do you know what I mean? That's how they're going to do population control, in my opinion. So I'm not going to go anywhere else. Mohammed Abdulaziz, welcome, my brother. Alhamdulillah. Nice to see you here. Ramadan Kareem. Cheers from Texas. Come late, but clearly great content. Will reply and subscribe. Awesome. Thank you very much. I'm going to give you this. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Listen, so of course, those of you who are new here, I'm kind of a different type of a YouTube channel, right? I know a lot of you guys have watched many crypto channels, and there are many guys out there talking about crypto and all sorts of stuff. And they keep it specific to the subject, right? And, you know, sometimes they pre-record, whatever. I don't do that. I do not believe in pre-recording. However, when I'm driving, sometimes I'll record it, but I will always leave a time reference and a date reference. So at least that way you guys know when this was published or when this was created, right? So that way, like today, we started at 11:49 or something PM in the UK. And currently the time is 1:38 AM. So you can see we've already been here like 2 hours, right? Almost 2 hours. Yeah, 1 hour, 57 minutes here. And time flows. So this video, when it is officially published later on, right, after the stream ends, it will probably show up as a later date, right? The like today's date, right? But actually the stream started yesterday, right? Technically, right? Because before midnight. So because of that, I always leave a time and a date. I didn't do that in the past, but I'm doing this more often because I've had so many people come over to me, leave comments on older videos, and what they didn't realize is they're not relevant now. For example, there were some issues about crypto.com way back in the days when they were crap, right? And I said, get the hell out of crypto.com. But they've resolved those issues now, and actually crypto.com turned out to be a good exchange now. Do you know what I mean? So there are times when that video is not relevant. But of course, do you want me to delete it? I'll delete my videos. Do you know what I mean? If I have to. So yeah, Let's see. Please read Adam and Eve book that was banned by CIA. Nice. Okay, I am going to read that. I haven't read that book. I have not read that book. Maxim, do share a link with me for the Adam and Eve book. If you have a link, shop, book, whatever, doesn't matter. Please share a link with me. I would love to read that. I'm not going to make any comment on Adam and Eve. Especially, I love the fact that you said about the pole shift, because pole shifts are something that scientists admit happens, right? And there are evidence in the soil and carbon dating as well, right? There are evidence that, for example, Antarctica once upon a time was more of a like a beach, desert, whatever, not a desert, but like a paradise, right? But now it's not. So there are evidence out there. We have had many, as I said, we've had other ice ages, many catastrophes, but these are all played out differently. And again, there are a group of people in the science community, whatever community you want to call it, because these are like societies, who control the narrative and then push out the stories. And that's where I kind of like, okay, it's okay. I'm going to, take it, but with a pinch of salt. And then I need to come up with my own theories and see what that is, because like one of the, okay, here's the craziest part, right? We understand that dinosaurs, right, died, right? Dinosaurs died off because of some massive asteroid, right? But how did we get all these animals if everything was wiped out? That doesn't make sense. Oh no, they all hid where? You're trying to tell me animals are intelligent now? So there are, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go, but I would love to see that. Honestly, I would love to see that. People should chill out and smoke the herb. Would be a happy place. Obviously, talking about smoke, I got to smoke my herb. I had it on my hand the whole time. I'm always respectful. I try not to vape anything while I'm in the car, or, well, I do vape in the car, but I don't like to vape on the videos just because it's not right. You never know. There may be some underage kid watching this video. But of course, this is not made for kids. So go bed. This is past your bedtime. Please share the info, because I would love to read that, because that's a brilliant thing. Because like pole shifts, like apparently it happens every 26,000 years, right? And there is another coincidence about 26,000 years as well. The Mayan calendar, they also kind of reset every 26,000 years. I don't know, something weird, right? And then we've got more as well, right? What's that? Nibiru, right? Planet Nibiru, right? There is some, Planet X or whatever. I think there was some craziness about 3,600 years on that one, or something weird like that. So you get to see these long time frame things. And of course, they're not coming from the main communities, but, there are stories out there. There are rumors out there. And of course, some of these stories, like, for example, Planet X, Nibiru, historically in a lot of the cultures, oral cultures and even written cultures as well, and like I'm talking cave drawings, they talk about these kind of events, right? So, like, for example, I'll give you a good example. This is a brilliant one, right? In Turkey, they found some guy was digging up something in his basement or something, and they found this underground tunnel, and they found that it was like 5-6 floors up and down, whatever, right? Goes down below, and it could fit 26,000 people. The number again comes out, it's 26. Anyway, so they could fit around 26,000 people in that thing. Coincidentally, so 26, right? Not a problem. And they built that to protect themselves from warring nations and whatnot and whatever. That's what the story is. But I think it's something else. They were probably preparing for a doomsday. You know what I mean? It could be anything. I mean, people could easily build houses with, trees, bark, whatever, like branches and this and that, right? And people still do have, we're not even going to go to Younger Dryas, right? We're not going to go to Younger Dryas. Younger Dryas will bring in, we're going to be here for hours if we start talking about Younger Dryas, okay? And I'll tell you this, right? Younger Dryas makes more sense than any other nonsense that we've been fed so far. And that's one of the reasons why I believe we are the people of definitely we have amnesia, we have lost memory, right? We have lost history, right? Now, I have given a justification why we have that lost history many times before, and right? And one of the theories I've given is I want like a real-time scenario. Imagine, right? Am I jumping? I think I'm jumping, right? Where was I, guy? Right, so I was talking about the Turks, right? Let's go to the Turks, right? Not only Turks, other people as well. So my argument that I have is maybe they were preparing for something else. And of course, we had an ice age, and we're going to get to that. We had a great ice age, right? The planet was covered with ice, right? Probably we had a flood before that. I'm not sure. Again, I'm not going to say anything which one was first, because right now my brain's not working, right? Göbekli Tepe goes even further. That one changes history, and coincidentally they accept it, and coincidentally the guy who discovered it is a German guy. Remember I talked about German scientists and German archaeologists. They are la creme de la creme, right? And when they're digging around, they're looking for something. They're looking for something, right? So anyway, they dug, they found something, they want to change the history, why not, right? But probably they wanted to confuse everybody, maybe, we don't know, right? But when you start looking at some of this stuff, it does change the history forever. But mainstream archaeology doesn't want to accept it, right? That's what I'm saying. They've written the history books as they wish. Now they refuse to change it as it was. Does that make sense? If the history is there right in front of you, why can you not change your history books to say that's how it was, instead of telling us how it is, right? So, oh my God, underground. Yes, Darren Q, exactly, Darren Q. Sorry, my brain was working, but Darren Q. But the point is so you got these large cities underground, and I think they were preparing for something because they were expecting something. So that means people knew this is what I believe, right? And there's more to it. Like, for example, the Great Flood, right? The Great Flood of the Bible, right? Noah's Ark, right? Noah and his family, right? I think it was 8 people, 7 or 8 people who survived. That's not it, because you can't have Noah survive, but then some Aborigine somewhere in Australia also survived the same flood or something stupid like this, right? Because we've got these flood myths or stories around the globe. So somehow, Khalid says, gotta go. Suhoor time, catch you later, brother. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for joining us on this live stream. It's been absolutely awesome. I'm also going to go in a bit as well, because it is quite late. But yeah, you carry on. I still have a few hours, so I'll be fine. So carry on, and I'll catch you on another one very soon. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Join the community. Let's grow this channel together, and let's be awesome and talk about all these crazy theories and stuff, right? With an open mind, obviously. And as I said, nothing is facts, right? No financial advice. And of course, you come here for crypto, we might end up with some conspiracies. And in fact, I've got to tell you this, market right now sitting at $2.37 trillion. BTC sitting at 64,229. Ethereum sitting at 3,350. Solana sitting at 177. Earlier on today, Maxim, I did send you an image, and I did send you a message, and sent it on the group for everybody, and we talked about Solana. Here we are, Solana's showing its thing. Maxim says, yeah, it's so weird. Why can they accept, and will they tell you why? Church will not allow that. There are times, church, listen to this, right? This is crazy, right? This is crazy. All right. So I'm a Muslim. A lot of you guys know this. I'm a Muslim. Now I'm going to say one thing to you, right? So this is crazy. As a Muslim, I'm telling you this, right? This is crazy. We have a prophet, Muhammad. Everyone knows this, right? Muhammad is our prophet. Muhammad didn't go to any other country or nation, or even around surroundings, different places, when he became a prophet. Before he became a prophet, he used to travel. He was a merchant. He used to travel, and he used to do whatever he'd done. But when he became a prophet, he didn't go anywhere else. He only went to 2 places, Mecca and Medina, right? And there was one occasion where he went to Israel. So these are only 3 places he's ever been to, right? When he became a prophet, and never went outside. So he was trying to help the people of Mecca and Medina, right? But after his passing, right, new people who wanted to become leaders wanted to spread the word. During his time, he only focused in his own area. They spread the word. Of course, now we have almost 2 billion Muslims around the planet because the word was spread. But was it spread by him? His message, we received his message, but the message was given by other religious leaders for whatever reason. I'm not even going to go there, right? So similar way, right? Jesus, right, in Christianity had a message, right? And he came with the message to the people of, to the Jewish people, right, at that time. But then after his passing, you know, which people believe, Muslims, we do not believe he passed, but after his passing, let's just be correct, you know, for each religion. So Christianity, they believe that he passed away, fine. After his passing, right, the Catholic Church, right, or the Roman Catholic Church, decided to take control of the narrative and spread the word, which is fine, right? And the reason we have a slight different belief is because Jesus was not, we believe Jesus was not a Christian. Christian is people who believe in Christ. Absolutely, right? It's in the word. But that doesn't make Jesus a Christian. How can you be a Christian if you are the Christ? It doesn't, right? So that's the problem. Suzuju. That's what we believe, right? Now, here's a fun fact. A lot of people would not admit, and I'm happy to talk about it. I believe Muslims, the 2 billion Muslims today, would not exist if Christianity didn't exist. How crazy is that? That's 4 billion people on this planet wouldn't believe. I believe everyone would have been Jewish. Now, how did it change? Well, blame the Romans. That's what I'm going to say, right? Blame the Romans. So it is a lot more diplomatical, and it's a very controversial subject. Many people may not have the heart or the mind to really sit down and discuss this in an open debate, but it is a crazy thought. And I do believe that we as a Muslim, me as a Muslim, would not be a Muslim today if Christianity wasn't formed. If that one fact that Jesus was a Jew wasn't changed. Jesus did never claim, you know, as far as I'm concerned, right? As I said, it's my belief, but that's what it is. So that's, as I say, it's a very controversial subject. I don't want to go there. But yeah, you know, whether it's church, whether it's masjid, whether it's a synagogue, they're always going to be in control. The leaders of these things, they have their own vision, they have their own missions, whatever it may be. Maybe it's for God, maybe it's not. We don't know, right? But as a human being, we should also ask questions, right? And say, look, if God has given us free will, what is he giving us free will to do? To think, right? So if we have free will to think what is right and what is wrong, right? It doesn't matter what religion, what culture, what part of the planet we come from. We have the willpower to choose the right and the wrong. That's all it is, right? And that will help us be better people. Because the last thing we want to do is be remembered as a bad person, right? Memories have positive energy. If I can be remembered as a good person, then I believe that energy will reflect and pass on forever. So that's what I'm saying, Maxim. That's the problem, right? So, you know, that's the problem. You know, that's the reason I'm saying. So he can't be a Christian because it was named after him. And because of that very reason, 500 years later, for whatever reason, a messenger, according to us, a messenger was sent over, right, whose name was Muhammad, who came to pass the message that was lost. And he did not say, Jesus didn't exist. He said Jesus is very powerful prophet. He called Jesus a prophet. Muhammad is the messenger. We call him our prophet, but he is the messenger of God. It's written in all the scriptures, right? He is the messenger of God, right? But he called Jesus his prophet. He called Moses his prophet, called Abraham his prophet, and many, many more in between that. That's a powerful message. So that's why a lot of people are completely unaware that Muslims actually accept Christ, and they accept Moses, and they accept Abraham. So all the Abrahamic people that you can think of, we accept all of them, right? And the truth is, the part that's missing, what people don't understand, Muslims wouldn't exist today if Christianity didn't exist. So it's not against Christianity. It's just saying, well, hold on, no, you're changing the story here. You can't change the story. Let's go back to basics, because the basics is whatever Abraham taught us. That's where our religion lies. Yes, there are slight variations, how they talk, but that's all got to do with where it was formed. Believe it or not, if Christianity, let's just believe it or not, right? If Muslims, if Muhammad turned out to be Chinese, then probably all the scripture would have been in Chinese. Does that make sense, right? It's crazy, right? Christian literally came from the cross. Yep. Symbolism is a whole different thing, right? We have symbols as well. Many people say we don't have symbols. We do have symbols, right? We have the moon and the star. That's our symbol. But that's a whole different thing. It goes back to ancient times, because sometimes religions and cultures, they need not symbolism. I wouldn't call it symbolism, but familiarities, right? There are things that need to be familiar with, and that's how they keep it, right? No, it's not true. No. They're 500 years apart. What's wrong with you? 500 years apart. There are stories that, and these are just stories, right? So these are just stories, and you got to understand this. And these stories were written about 200 years, I think 100 or 200 years after the passing of Muhammad. So I don't think anyone can actually verify whether Muhammad said that or not, and I don't think he did. There are stories that through some miraculous dream journey, he's met some of these prophets, and he's actually giving them their greetings. It's a miraculous story. Maybe just a fantasy tale. I don't know. I'm not going to agree with any of that. I'm not going to say anything. But what I do know is Jesus was a real person. Jesus is, I have to say, because we actually believe Jesus never passed away. We believe that a miracle was performed on him, right? God favored him and done a miracle for him, because his job is not done, right? Hence why Muhammad doesn't replace him, but Muhammad comes with the message that, guys, he's coming back. So we believe in the second coming of Jesus, right? But not as a resurrection, as the person he was. So I kind of believe in time travel or something like this. It's a weird thing, but we do believe in that. But no, they have not met. They have not met, right? Because they're not supposed to. Do you know what I mean? They're not supposed to, because that would change things. And also another thing as well, Muhammad, our prophet, has never ever performed any miracles, right? He's never performed any miracles. However, Jesus has performed miracles, right? And that's all because God gave him the power to do so. So some people say channeled through him, but no, he said God wills and it happens, right? So that's what we believe, that God wills and it happens. But when with Muhammad, we didn't have any miracles. We didn't have any magic, any miracles, none of that business. There's no fantasy stories out there, or whatever stories that came out later are probably people's imaginations, nothing more. No, each of these guys have had, so for example, I'll give you an example, right? Jesus, right? So during the time of Jesus, we have John the Baptist, for example. John the Baptist. Let's just say John the Baptist, right? John the Baptist. So is it John the Baptist? Yeah, I think John the Baptist, right? So he was around before Jesus, right? We actually believe he's a messenger as well. So he's been around giving the message that Jesus is coming, right? We actually have stories of this, that he actually came in. So um we have like, so this is crazy. We have prophets who prophesy certain things, prophesizes, but we also have messengers who come with messages for the nation that they're in when these nations mess around or start going the wrong direction, right? So these messengers, we've had hundreds, thousands of messengers, right, come along over periods of time when they were most required to give a message to say, your Messiah is coming, your boss is coming, or your guardian or your prophet is coming, right? Please fix yourself and do. So we've had those kind of things. Not necessarily everybody came with God's message. Does that make sense, right? Because God's message is only given to a handful of people, right? And for us, there are some very powerful names. Like, for example, as I said, Abraham, God's message came to him. Moses, God's message came to him, right? Jesus, God's message came to him. Does that make sense? So there are certain reasons why certain people God would pass his message to. Now, when God passes his message, there are occasions and stories where God has spoken directly to them, right? Maybe, maybe not. Again, I cannot confirm nor deny because I don't know, right? I wasn't there, so I'm not going to judge them for that. I'll take it with a pinch of salt, but I do believe all myths and legends start with something, right? Something real. But what we do know in the scriptures, and over again, over thousands of years, there has been a few names that have constantly popped up, right? And these names are archangel names. Archangel names have popped up. So there must be some reality there. Why would so many different religions from thousands of miles apart, right? Actually, not exactly thousands of miles, because it's actually in a region, right? But these religions form from there, but they all have this similar characters, right? And yeah, I mean, just, you know what I mean, just makes you wonder. It's like, why would you have all of these similar characters, right? Maybe one is copying the other, but ultimately these are characters who we're talking about, and it seems like they are mediums that God is passing the message through. Do you know what I mean? But Jesus makes a great point, right? In the Muslim culture, at least, right? So I'm not sure about the other cultures. And again, I haven't studied it in depth, but I've studied enough, but not in depth. But in the Muslim culture, Jesus proves a point that there was a person who had leprosy, apparently, right? And Jesus went and he touched him or something, and this man healed himself, right? Something like this. And everyone thought, oh, Jesus done it. And apparently Jesus turned around and said, this is a story. Apparently Jesus said that he didn't do it. He said, I have done nothing. This is all from the will of God, right? God wanted to do this and he done it. So the point he made is, if God wants, it happens. That's the point. And that for me is a very powerful message. That says God is real. That says God is real. Jesus knew God was real, right? That if God wants, it happens. He doesn't have to do anything. Oh, God, come down and help me. Oh, God, do this for me. Oh, God doesn't do anything for you. God gave you everything you need. Every tool you ever required to survive this planet has been given to you. How crazy is that? Every tool that you need has been already given to you, right? All the gift you need has been given to you. So you might turn around and say, well, okay, what if somebody's born without a leg? That's because he doesn't need it. What if somebody's born without eyes? He doesn't need it. God has given him something as a replacement and given him exactly what it is to live this life, right? So, second come of Jesus about to happen. Also could be a blue beam project. Could be. It could be anything. It could be anything. Listen, whether the second coming happens now or happens from 1,000 years from now, we don't know, right? We don't know. DB here, also my brother, nice to see you. Nice to see you. But yeah, listen, we don't really know, right? Whether it be 100 years from now, 1,000 years from now, we don't know. Ultimately, we shouldn't be too concerned about what will happen, right? We need to live every day as if it's our last day, the Armageddon theory, right? Why not? But more consciously, what do we do? If Jesus is coming tomorrow, can we face him? Can we say, Jesus, I've been a good, humble person. I've been a good man. I haven't harmed anybody. I haven't harmed a soul. I've never thought of anything ill for anybody. Never wanted anything bad for anyone. I've always thought of good things. Can we turn around and say these kind of things? Because if we can't face Jesus, if we meet him, right, and say these kind of things, right, with conviction, then are we worthy? Does that make sense? Because we believe he's powerful. He's very powerful. Jesus is the reason for 4 billion people on this planet. Whether it's Christianity or Muslims, it doesn't matter. He's the reason for 4 billion people on this planet. 4 billion, that's more than half of the planet, or at least half the planet. Can you imagine that? Right? We have a second coming. Can we face him? That's all I'm going to say. Right? So ultimately, you know, it doesn't matter. What matters is our thoughts. That's what I'm going to say. You know, bloody hell. Where we started this video and where we've ended, we were talking through money, finance, fiat, CBDC, and we ended up on Jesus. God bless you all. God bless you all. Honestly, you know. As I said, I do believe in this Almighty. I believe there's something so powerful out there, but not basic like people think it. Oh, if God's there, why doesn't he do it? No, God doesn't do anything. God doesn't need to do anything. He thinks and it happens. Mohammed Abdulaziz says, came for crypto, but this is great. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Honestly, thank you. As I said, I have free will, and I believe it's a gift from God. You know, and you've probably understood that all this video, I've never once mentioned Allah. I could, but I didn't. Why? Because I have other people from the community here, and I'm not going to identify God as one specific. For me, God, capital G, is everyone's God, right? What language we use and where it comes from, that's a whole different story, right? As I said, if Muhammad was, you know, around China, then our whole Quran would be in Chinese. But it's not. He was in Saudi Arabia at that time, or around that region in the Arab world. Hence why it was given to him in Arab. It was given to him in a language that he spoke, in a language that people would be able to later write down. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. It could have been in Latin by all means, right? And funny thing is the old Torah, not the Torah, sorry, the Old Testament was in Latin. Until it was it was like Greek Latin, mixture of Greek Latin, but then it was changed, right? And the Torah was originally, I think it's Aramaic. I can't remember. I think it was Aramaic. And then later on it was changed to Hebrew. So, you know, well, I think it was Hebrew and then Aramaic. I can't remember. One of the other guys, I can't remember. But I think, I'm not sure. Again, I'm not 100% sure. I think the Torah was done over 3 periods, and there are 3 sets of writing or something like this. I can't remember, guys. There's so many, you know. But yeah, awesome stuff. You know, when you look at history, because I always go back to history. I'll always go back to history, because when you go to history, you see things that we don't realize now. And that's why I believe that, you know, over time, we're constantly losing our history. We're losing our past, and hence why we don't know the information that we're giving in, like the current time, if it's real or not. The only way we can see the truth is go back in time, and I believe that works. DB says, God is powerful. We all come for crypto talk, and God knew we had a better divine conversation that we all needed, that stemmed from our amazing human connections we've created created even inside this group. XRP and Doge looking pumpy. Awesome. XRP, I haven't checked XRP. I don't do XRP, you know that. I don't know if you know this. So the 2 coins you're mentioning, XRP and Doge, I don't look at, but I'll have a look at it right now, just for you, my brother. Why not? I don't do, this is the 2 coins I do not touch. I do hold some Doge, to be transparent. I do hold some Doge. I bought them after the last dump. So during the bear market, I did buy some Doge. I didn't buy it for myself. I think I bought it for my missus or something. but it's there. Do you know what I mean? It's there. So I'll be transparent. I do hold some Doge, right? Or my family does hold some Doge. All right, let's have a look at XRP. Not the crypto cap. XRP USD. Sorry, let's do this. XRP USD. Okay, looking okay on the 4 hourly. I wouldn't say anything. Let me look at 8 hourly. Okay, yeah, looking much better on the 8 hourly. Currently sitting at 61 cents. However, for it to be bullish, it will have to go to above 63 cents. So it's about 2 cents away. If it does, great. But again, it's following the general market trend. Nothing too fancy. I wouldn't call it really, really juicy or anything like this. But yeah, I'm not a big XRP fan. Let's have a look at Doge. And Doge, you know, had its time, right? Had its time. I know Elon is trying to piss about and do whatever. I mean, okay, compared to XRP, bro, whatever you just said there, Doge looks super solid to me. Doge is pumping even now. 16 cents, 16.3 cents. It's pumping. If Doge gets to, all right, let's have a look at this. 17.6 cents. It literally invalidates the negative bearish trend and starts on a bullish trend. It could potentially start pumping from that point. I'm looking at an 8 hourly chart. I'll show you the chart as well, so you guys know what I'm looking at. This is the chart. So you can see this is an 8 hourly chart. The time is just here, 8 hours. And you can see it looks kind of pumpy, and you can see that 17.6 is the target. That would bring you on top of the range of this whole zone here, and it will start a positive range from there. So anyway, so Doge looks much more stronger than XRP, to be honest. I'm not even going to bother about XRP. It's just a waste of space on the charts. DB says, love, empathy, compassion, and understanding will keep everything okay. It's a divine code. Absolutely, absolutely. Simple things, simple things. And a lot of the times, we have to think about empathy. Have you noticed this? There are so many people who have to act to be sorry for someone or happy for someone. You should make it second nature, right? Compassion, love, all of it. I love everybody. I'm a human. I love all humans. To me, I've had people, I had once, there was, oh, they're going to love this, right? It's a short story. Back in 2001, right? I remember the story. In 2001, I went to meet my uncle in his restaurant, right? In Hampstead, right? Hampstead suburb, right? I went to go and meet him in his restaurant. And it was about 6:25 p.m. This is why I remember, 6:25 p.m. Now, at that time, the law stated that a traffic warden cannot issue me a ticket if it's less than 5 minutes. So if it's 6:25 and this, by the time I got out of the car, it was about 6:26. That means he cannot issue me a ticket because the parking will be free after 6:30. So this tall 6-foot guy, you know, came, you know, and he's wearing his parking attendant thing, and he comes and he's trying to give me a ticket. And I went running up. I said, dude, you can't give me a ticket. And instead of having an argument or a conversation with me, do you know what he replied and said to me? He's a 6-foot tall guy, right? He said, I'm a black man. I said, what? And I just flipped. I said, I don't care if you're pink, purple, green, mate. I don't care what color you are, right? You do not say that to me, because you're trying to tell me you're a black man. What does that mean? Please explain to me. And then obviously he got confused, right? And a few other guys that know me from local, they came over, they're like, what happened? I said, you just said he's a black man. What makes him black? I need to understand. So all of a sudden, like, conversation changed. Obviously he backed off, and I was like, do you even know who you're talking to, right? This guy, you've come up with color, race, don't. Don't. He hates this kind of stuff. Do not bring race with him, right? So after things calmed down, I said to him, I said, dude, you're 6 foot tall. Do you think, and I'm like 5 foot something, right? I'm like, do you think I give a shit how tall you are, how big you are, and worst of all, what color you are? If I'm going to knock you out, I'm going to knock you out, right? But none of that matters. I'm trying to have a conversation with you, human to human. Color, name, race, age, none of that came into the factor. So why did you bring it in? You know, later on he calmed down and we became friends. And after, every time I used to go to my uncle's place, even at 6 o'clock, he won't give me a ticket. I used to go there quite often. For an entire year, he walked past my car and never gave me a ticket, because we talked about it, and he was like, you know what, I feel bad that I actually said something to you which I shouldn't have, and I didn't understand what kind of a person you are, but I've been you know, in this area facing all sorts of issues where people actually discriminate me with my color, right? Hence why I'm a little bit more aggressive, because of my color. I'm like, you don't have a color, bruv. What's wrong with you? You don't have a color. I'm close to you. I'm also brown. I'm close to you. You don't have a color. I'm just a lighter shade than you. That's all it is. I also have a color. Everyone has a color, right? So people talk about colors. No, you can't. You're not black. We know what black looks like. It's like, you know, black marker. That's black. You're not black, right? And people will say white. No, you're not white. White is paper. You're not white. So you're a human. Just have a slight different complexion than everybody else, but that's what makes us unique. I talk about this. There are no two similar humans on this planet. We might have slight look-alikes, but we're still slight variations, right? Twins is a different exception, but you know, that's what I'm saying. So it's quite crazy. But yeah, I just remembered that story. How something so simple became something so bad, but then came to realization, and how things changed for everybody. It was just crazy. That's hello, not me. My list is mostly micro caps. I have several coins for this run. Awesome. Yes, I know it's hello. I know it was hello. I love hello's name, because there's no other way you can say. You have to say hello. Hello said this. Who's hello? Hello. Awesome. Mike Z, bless everyone. Maxim, bless everyone. You guys are the best. You guys are blessed, and may God be with you all. With you. God will be with everybody. God rewards us for how we act. If we have positive thoughts, we have a positive mind, we are kind, we are generous, we are humble, we are modest, God will reward us exactly as we deserve, right? Sometimes things happen to us which we feel are bad, but actually maybe it's not. Maybe God is saying this is a good thing, right? And then if we take that in a positive way, we'll see that there was something bad there which God actually protected us from. You know, we can give credit to God or whatever, but it doesn't matter. The point is, God does things in a mysterious way we're not supposed to understand. If we did, then God doesn't have to be almighty anymore. But we're not supposed to understand him, right? Him, he, she, it, whatever, right? That's the point, right? We are not supposed to understand God, right? Or how God works. My big protocols, I've gone pretty deep, pocketed into have been CTX, Ondo, Aero, my biggest alt holding right now. That doesn't include BTC, Sol, ETC, and ICP. Okay, cool. I'm more BTC, Sol, Ethereum, not ICP yet. I did have ICP before, but for us to get ICP, I mean, ICP will pump, don't get me wrong. ICP will pump. People who bought in the bottom will make a lot of money. But for ICP to get back to its all-time high, I don't know. I just don't see it happening. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, you know. I hope I'm wrong, because then all of you guys will be right, and all of you guys are going to become millionaires, and I pray for you to become millionaires, honestly. But I'm just being realistic. I just don't see that. I've had the pleasure of watching you grow tremendously over the past year. I'm so proud of your journey. I mean that, brother. Thank you, my brother. I do appreciate that. It's not just my journey, it's your journey as well. I can only improve provided you guys are here. There's this fun fact, right? Quality over quantity. I don't know if you heard about this, right? So someone who tries to do quality from day one, right? He will obviously deliver you quality, but he will have less experience in like the actual thing. So like myself, I'm doing quantity, right? So I pump out videos every single day, but each video that I make, there's a little slight variation, right? And I get feedback from community, from other members, Discord members, YouTube. I get feedback, and they're like, Sham, you're doing this, can you do it this way? That one guy literally said to me, and he's a really good friend of mine, he said, do not make videos without a cap. He said, your identification is a cap, right? So I was like, okay, fine. He said, that's how we identify it's you. We know you always wear a cap, so wear a cap. Okay, fine. He said, you always make a video in your car, so make it in a car. Don't do studios, because that's what makes you different. Okay, fine. So these are things that were positives that I was getting feedback from the community. I said, fine. The one thing they did complain was audio, which I have a microphone right now. That's why the audio is quite good. However, this might die very soon, because I've never done a stream this long with this mic before, but let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. But yeah, it's a journey. And as I move forward, I also improve. And I've also mentioned many, many times that I am one of those, I'm happy to talk to everyone about anything, right? Obviously, certain subjects may be off limits. I won't talk about it. Most of the time, if it is something I don't know about, I'll put my hands up. I don't know. I won't talk about it. I won't even throw an opinion. For example, earlier on, Maxim said something about Adam and Eve book. I haven't read it. I don't know what it is. Please send me the link. I need to read it because I haven't read it. I don't know about it. I have no knowledge about it. I have religious context that I've been given as a young person in my past, but I'm not young anymore, about Adam and Eve. These are ideas I have. I've read other stuff, or I've seen other stuff that have given me a rough idea of Adam and Eve, but I haven't read that book. My hands up. I can't talk about it. You know what I mean? So it's one of those kind of things. DB says, it feels good to see your soul becoming grounded again, but I trusted the process, and we all saw and anticipated the fuck if you for it. I'm not sure what you're talking about. It feels good to see your soul becoming grounded again. Oh, I think you mean the situations that I've had. So yes, I've had some mishaps, but I've kind of taken myself to a position where I'm able to let go. And instead of blaming the world for everything, right, that happens and this and that, I said, you know what, it's fine. And this is where, like, for me, the way I found peace was like, maybe it wasn't meant to be. Maybe there was a reason. Maybe I would have lost something bigger. Something far more serious could have happened to me. So I've turned something negative in my life into something positive. I said, maybe I wasn't supposed to. Maybe the losses I've incurred and all the situations that was for a reason, and actually part of the journey to bring me where I am today, right? Bring me to a point where I realized that that wasn't it. There's something bigger, better for me in the future. So that's how I've moved forward, basically. So yeah, out of you for it. Appreciate. Thank you. I do appreciate that. I understand what you're saying. I do appreciate that. We also and anticipated. Yep. No, I appreciate. Look, you guys been on a journey with me, and I appreciate that, because without you guys, this is nothing. I've said this so many times. I said I wouldn't be making videos today, right? Originally, I started making videos for a small group of people. Some of them are still watching the videos later on. They're not there all the time, and some of them are not watching the videos, right? But from something very small, it's become something very big. But my dedication to the channel or the community hasn't changed. It doesn't matter if I know you, if you have my phone number, even if you're a new subscriber, I'm still there for you. Even nowadays, I go on Discord, right, and someone new joins Discord, and I say, guys, feel free to ask anything. And even if you have a video request, go ahead. I'm here for you. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter how ludicrous, how crazy it is. If I think it's okay, I'll talk about it, right? Of course, there are certain things I want, right? DB says, I went balls in at 3.5. It's up 14 levels. I'm hoping for 100 and I'll be happy. $100. What did you buy? What did you buy? What are you talking about? That's the question. What did you buy at 3.5? 14, it's up $14 levels. I'm hoping for 100. I'll be happy. 100 for what? What are you looking for? 100. I want to see what you're looking for. 100 because interesting. Yeah. So I'm just looking at the markets, trying to see what's going on. How the market ICP. Oh, nice, nice. Yes, good. Listen, if you're making money, by all means, right? 100, maybe. Let's have a look, right? Actually, while I'm here, let me have a look. Sorry, I just wanted to look at thing ICP USDT. Let's have a look at ICP. Following the trend. Following the trend. Yes, it's at 14. If you bought it at 3, you did bloody good. You did freaking awesome. Right, let me change that on ICP. So I'm just changing the time frame. I want to see something on the time frame. I want to see something on a higher time frame. Right, nothing small, higher time frame. Okay, you know what? So your target is 100. Looking at this chart, 75 looks promising. I'm not going to say 100. I don't see 100 here, but I do see a 75 here. Here's the fun part. If you break the 75, wow, this is good. So if it breaks the 75, then yeah, sky's your limit. Let's just say this. From what I just saw on the chart, 75 is good. All right. And if you can break past 75, sky's your limit. Let's just say that. Right. So on that note, guys, it's been almost 2 hours and 45 minutes. I think it's the longest stream I've done to date, because I have done a few others before, but I don't think I've ever done anything as long as this. I'm going to give you guys the market once more before I leave. And, you know, thank you all for coming to the stream. You guys are absolutely brilliant. You guys are awesome. You are my drive. You guys are the reason why I come on YouTube every single day. As I said, if nobody wants me on YouTube, I don't see a reason for me coming here. I'm happy in my solidarity, right? In my mind, I just love it. So, yeah. I love it. You guys come here, you ask me questions. This drives this channel. That's what you have to understand. So you are important to this channel more than me, right? Not just because you subscribe, no, but people who come to this channel and can contribute, comments, likes, shares, subscribes, right? Not much of a surprise, but all of those things, they do add up. You add a different level of, let's just say, spice, right, to these streams, and that's really important. That's powerful stuff, right? Because that's what keeps me going. So market cap right now at 2.36, looking a bit shaky. I wouldn't be too concerned. As I said, we want to see BTC go to 67,600-ish, right? I said that earlier on in the video. If we do get to that level, then I think we are going to have a confirmation candle print. We can start shooting for the moon. Ethereum sitting at 3,300. Not concerned about what Ethereum is doing right now, because I feel BTC needs to confirm that for the market trend to start moving up again. Then we might see Ethereum perform better, if not, like, you know, perform as similar as Bitcoin, if not perform even better. So we are going to see that. Solana 174. I really need to see Solana go to around $200. And provided the market is also moving on the right direction as well, then Solana has a chance to start shooting for the moon. So that's going to be quite interesting to see. But other than that, market holding steady. That's what matters. Remember, it's not the resistance we're looking for. It's not how high we go. We can shoot off to the moon. It doesn't matter. What we need is support zones. Remember, I always tell people, we are only interested in support. If we break and fall below a support, that's it. So for us, so until then, we need to keep an eye on the supports, nothing more. Resistance, minor. On the top levels, minor, right? BTC sitting today at $63,000. That's a great thing. Coming here a few times and testing it over the past few days, past few weeks, it's a great thing. It only confirms that we're making a stronger support. And remember, the support, it's like a layer cake, right? It's like a layer cake. The more layers you build around a similar area, the more tighter and more compact you make it, the bigger the foundation is, the more powerful rocket we can launch from that. That's what matters. That's what the real thing is. So other than that, guys, I do appreciate you guys coming over here today and listening to me talk. You know, it's not something I do all the time, but as I said, I do appreciate you guys. It's been an awesome stream. I will catch you guys on another one very soon. It is very, very late. It's almost about 2 hours and 50 minutes. Longest stream I've ever done in my history. So yeah, next time let me do another longer one if need be, but I would love it if all of you guys come over and make the stream much more flavorful, much better. So I'm your host, Sham. This was 0xfiles. This the truth is always out there, as I always say, and let me catch you guys on another one very soon. Adios, my amigos.